Well,
we
I
want to
do.
do.
So I do want to talk about one of the conversations that we've had offline is Dylan's approach to
Hmm.
handling internet controversy and dog trainers is not something that I would naturally like do or normally see as valid. And we've had discussions where I've asked him about like, dude, why do you do this? And he's explained it to me, and I do think it's an interesting topic to dissect and realize that like there's more thought behind the internet trolling than I kind of initially realized. So like I would just be curious to, as much as you want to explain without spilling your trade secrets, as much as you want to explain to the listeners about um, the fact that like you have this sort of persona online that might push away some people, but
Yeah.
like you understand that it might push away some people and like kind of the thought process behind that. So I'll kind of just let you run.
Yeah. I mean, when you launch the D-Day invasion, you know you're going to lose some of the boys. You know what I mean?
True,
Like that
true.
you're gonna there's some of them are gonna get chewed up before we can even start. Um, yeah, and I don't like I do not want to sound like I'm some sort of like Machiavellian persuasion expert. Like I'm really not. Like, and
I know.
I kind of take issue with you saying persona. It's not like I actually am just
Yeah, yeah.
just
Um,
being me. But I will
yeah, persona
say,
isn't the right word, but like it's you said and like for those that are listening to this later, like it's gonna be a pain in the ass to scroll back on Dylan's Facebook, but he
yeah,
posted a video of him talking about uh like having a certain tonality in a certain
mm,
platform, and it's more like that where like your tone
yeah,
long form in a like when I talk to you in a one-on-one conversation, you're a very reasonable person that isn't just like emotionally unhinged, but I think
you
people
deserve,
get
but
that impression.
you deserve to be talked to like that. That's why.
Yeah, yeah,
Like when you see me like going off on someone, it's because I think that's how they should be treated,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like it
yeah,
feels good for me to do that. So like if you're
yeah,
just like
yeah.
a bad faith actor, a liar, a bad person, a schemer, a deceiver, an influencer, like yeah, and you act like all of those things or a few of those things, and you're trying to wear the costume of the trade that we love so much, yeah, I mean, you're gonna get obliterated. I'm not
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to abide by the conventional sort of like social atmosphere, the boundaries that have been put in place. I think people are sick of it. I am no longer going to pretend to like hold hands and accept horrible people. I think that we
Yeah.
need gatekeeping. I think we need people to be exposed. I think we need people to be bullied, unfortunately. I think it's gotten that bad with the things that people are doing to dogs and the things
Mhm,
that people are saying and the lies
mhm,
that they're spreading. And I think that the typical principled balanced trainer appeasement, well actually the force free love me because I'm nice. Well, no, they're just going to kill you last. They hate you.
yes, yes.
I don't think that, and it's not just force free. I mean, obviously they're a huge problem. They're also like force free adjacent people. There's a lot of balanced people too that I take serious issue with, and it's not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
ideological on that front. I'm just saying that if there are people doing bad things to dogs and they are talking about it publicly and bragging about it, and not just that, they're trying to manipulate what I've called the dog training Overton window, where they're trying to distort that to the point where completely ludicrous, awful things and thoughts for the animals become like acceptable things. The idea that a dog's play biting, so he needs to be on Prozac.
yeah, yeah.
The idea that a dog in a shelter, one of the most vulnerable dogs in our society, we're going to judge him based on the fact that he growled from inside of his kennel while he's afraid for his life, and we're going to kill him because a behaviorist trainer walked in and got scared at the gate. And
Mhm.
we're just supposed to say that that's just their way of doing things.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not going to do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there are people that could approach this problem in a more tactful way. I'm just not interested in it.
Mhm.
Um, I think that we are ready for bombs to go off. I think that it's primed for glass to be shattered and for people to be like, no, this is unacceptable. I'm done pretending that these people, these trainers, behaviorists, or whatever, are just like my peers and my colleagues, because they're not.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about tiny little differences in food luring position. I'm talking
Mhm.
about ideological, philosophical,
Mhm.
deep methodological stances on
Yep.
how dogs should be treated and how they should live.
Yep. Yep.
And these are not reconcilable differences. These are not debate topics. I
Yep.
think that dogs should be able to be happy and they should be able to live.
Mhm.
A lot of these people
Mhm.
do not,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, I
And
think
they hide behind pseudo academic language, their follower count, their
yep.
edited videos,
Yep.
and they are not, in my opinion, to be treated like just different dog trainers. No,
Mhm.
no. So if someone sends me something where someone is doing something terrible to a dog or saying awful things about dogs, or if they're bullying another trainer that's just doing normal trainer things,
Mhm.
I'm not going to take the Robert Cabral approach where I just shrug and go, it's just discourse. No, actually, someone needs to get fucking blown up. So
Mhm.
if that means that I start trolling because I know that these people can't help but take the bait, I'm going to do that. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's I I have not heard a valid refutation of my stance on this. I guess
Mhm.
is where I'll leave it.
Yeah, and I think a couple interesting things for me that like, and again, this has been like a mindset shift for me because I would have uh like I definitely saw what you were doing, but I never would have thought of that as like a way to approach it like on my own because I very
Yeah.
much am conditioned to be like play nice, assume everyone has the
Right.
best intentions, and I
Yeah.
think
That's why
that's
we're here. That's why we're here, by the way. That's why we're
yeah,
here.
yeah. So and
Tolerance.
that's
We're here
exactly
we're
what's
here because of tolerance. Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what's super interesting is coming to the realization that these people are not we're not coming from the same planet of thought. And so trying to have logical discourse simply doesn't work because we're never going to agree
Right.
on fundamental, like you're saying, just like how dogs should be treated and what a dog even is, to be honest. Um, that's never going to be something that we can get past.
Yeah.
So anything beyond that is just not going to happen, waste of breath, whatever. Um, so it's interesting then, right, that instead of appeasement or just avoiding it or any of these other strategies, it's like, okay, like, you know, the whole like fight, flight, freeze, friend. What have we not tried? Is like fight, right, as a
Right.
community. But
Right.
meanwhile, the force free side of things has gotten away with uh basically character assassination and making everything into
Psychopathic behavior. Psychopathic
yeah,
behavior
yeah, like they
on a broad
use
scale.
yeah, like they use punish they have effectively punished
And
and
to
suppressed the balance side.
yeah,
And I like I don't
correct.
even want to say the balance side even like because again there's like I think that dichotomy is also kind of a stupid one. Like it's annoying because there are also people that misuse e-collars horribly.
Right.
But anyway, that's another topic where like that grain of truth is what they glom onto.
Right.
But anyway,
Really
it
quick, really
is
quick.
yeah.
So I am their product. They
Yes.
created me.
Yes.
They
Yep.
created me
Yep.
because when I
Yep.
started dog training, they still controlled the entire narrative. They still
Yep.
controlled the entire online space. They've largely
Yep.
lost influence. I think that their ranks are breaking and they're on the run because I think that people are
Mhm.
just exhausted. Like, you guys are
Sick of
just
it. Yeah.
fucking retarded. Like, you have not,
Yeah.
you've had all this time to demonstrate anything, and all you do is whinge and piss yourselves and kill dogs.
Yeah.
So, and repress dogs. But I remember, like, coming up in training, like, everyone was afraid. I was afraid.
Yeah.
Like,
Of
I
like
was like,
the
this
backlash of
social fear.
speaking up.
Like,
Yeah.
they because they on a whim seemingly could just summon
Yes.
a rampaging dog pile of freaks
Yes.
to just go review bomb people's pages, blow up their social media, spread vicious, brutal lies about them on every corner of the dog training internet sphere possible for literally for no good reason. You know what I'm saying? And guys like Robert Cabral, they were quiet the whole time. Balance trainer leaders were quiet the whole time. No one took a stand and said, you know what, fuck you. You shouldn't be dragging this trainer through the mud for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
No, they were quiet because, oh, well, if I keep my head down, everyone's still gonna like me. Well, you're fucking gay, dude. That's really gay. That's like brutal. That's brutal. Like, that's I can't. So I'm coming out of that, and now, like, I'm at where I'm at, and I'm pretty good at this, and I don't need any of them, and I'm still mad.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a new trainer, being horrified to show that I had an electric collar remote in my hand.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people still feel like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with small followings, I see them sometimes get dogpiled again to this day for just doing normal things from people that cannot demonstrate a single shred of evidence with a dog. And I don't think we need more, oh, just fill them with kindness. That's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Yeah. 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 And it's interesting. Yeah, like I think once you realize that you're not going to have logical discourse with these people, it does become a war, right? Of basically who can win. I don't want to say this crudely, but like, who can win the shouting match. And hopefully there's like people with some actual critical thinking skills that are also watching it. But it does become a little bit more of who's controlling the narrative and who's getting the airtime and getting the
really
views.
quick.
Like,
really quick. There's been one thing missing this whole time.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that we have, which is the dogs.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
That is it. So part of the previous success of really bad dog trainers when it comes to like having influence over the narrative while having no tangible dog training skills, they are able to keep the topic away from the dogs. They're able to keep it away from results.
And they're able, again, to suppress people posting how they actually got those results.
Right. So correct. So they create this atmosphere of shame and silence to nullify people from showing things that you're not supposed to do that actually sometimes fucking work. And then on a personal level, it's just attacks, right? And then as soon as you strike back as well, they cry. And then you're attacking them. And I don't actually think that it is innately like an American politics left-right thing, but I think that these people largely use the costume of American left-wing politics to turn into, well, I mean, obviously, like, I'm a female trainer and this guy called me a dumb bitch. I wonder how he treats women in his personal life. So when someone says that to someone that they're bullying who fired back, now what we've done in the past is we've allowed ourselves to get dragged into a social discussion about our personalities. And like things like that. And now the dogs are gone. And they have gotten you where they want you, where there's no dogs. Right? So the only thing that I'm doing different is at that stage where they go, I wonder how he treats his wife and kids. I go, I beat the fuck out of them mercilessly. Can we get back to the dogs? I can't find any dogs on your page, and I have
Yes.
the best dogs in the world.
It's a massive prediction error.
And they're just kind of sitting there like,
It didn't
well,
work.
like I saw you make fun of this guy. Do you hate gay people? I'm like, no, I love the gays. The gays love me. My brother's gay. I got the fag pass. I can drop it. I've got 7 more uses of the fag pass. How many are we going to use in this conversation? Can we get back to the dogs?
Yeah. Yep.
And it causes this insane problem for them
Yeah.
because I am better than them at the actual thing that we're supposed to be doing, and I'm not playing the conventional
Yes.
game.
Yes.
I'm just
Yes.
not going to do.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to participate. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say little things that I know are gonna make you fucking freak out, and you're gonna be making
Mhm.
videos about me 2 weeks later, and I can
Yep.
tell when you do because my follower count goes up. And when you go to my page, you don't see this. You see the
Yep.
dogs looking
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's I think it's a proof of concept, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I think like again, like that's I just like the like people watching side of it is so interesting to me because it's one of those things that like people just don't try. Like I never would have thought to like try that, which is so fucking funny because this is
Yeah.
like um it is like very I think there's like a certain culture that you get exposed to this kind of thing or not. Um
It's like, oh
but yeah,
well, you
it's just like
you talk to them like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he says the N word.
right,
Like
right.
people would be like, "Oh, actually, like I grew up in a predominantly black, a very mixed neighborhood, and I listen
Right.
I listen to rap music. I'll go,
Right.
no, I don't use the N word unless I'm dropping my kids off at school in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have fun. Can we get back to the
Yep.
dogs?
Yep. Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
over.
it's funny. It's almost like I picture the thing it's kind of the strategy like if you have a dog that doesn't want to out and you're just like okay, I'm going to work you until like you can't wait to drop this
Yeah,
toy
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean where it's like
yeah, yeah.
kind of yeah, you just you pull the rug out from under them in a way that's like comical to anybody who's watching it, but that
It's
they just don't
confounding.
have a strategy to yeah.
It's
Yeah.
confounding. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so yeah, one of the things that I kind of and like I've seen people say this in your comment sections too, like I kind of challenged you on is that thing of okay, like the people that are willing to go, hey, let's just focus on the dogs, and I actually like don't care whether this dude is like a
A
serial killer or a
lunatic?
psychopath or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
There's definitely,
yeah.
and I don't think you are, but I think like you're
Yeah.
just making the most extreme
Yeah. I
argument
mean,
or example of it.
I get weird stuff, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Um, it like there are definitely people who are willing to kind of just be like, all right, like for me, like I for the most part, um I don't really care if someone's a dickhead. I'm still gonna go learn from them because then I can just take the information and do what I want with it and like, hey, see you later. Like it's just it is a means to an end, right? Which is like that's just how life works. Like there's a lot of I mean, even like Skinner was kind of a crazy dude, and it's like we definitely and a lot of scientific progress has been made via some pretty shitty stuff happening to animals and people. And it's like,
Right.
okay, we take that information and then move on from it and hopefully don't have to repeat it. But then
I
there are
love how
people who are like,
I'm being, like, loosely associated with monkeys being, like, poked with sharp sticks and starved in a cage. No, I know. No,
just
I
like,
know where you're
yeah,
going with it. I
yeah,
get it. I get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like so people, I can disagree morally with um, uh, an individual who has information that I would also like to obtain and
Right.
still be like, okay, I'm going to obtain this information absent uh their or you know like unaffected by their morality for the most part.
Yeah.
um and I think they're then the people who are like, I don't want to spend money at the business that, um, is supporting oppression of this minority group, right? And
Mhm.
like, I think that's super valid. And I think there are people that are looking at giving you views and clicks and likes or whatever and thinking that they're supporting a
I
person who,
promise you, I get nothing off of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
0. So,
yeah,
like, if you
yeah,
if you have like a strong, and I'm not trying to like sell anybody on watching my
yeah,
videos,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
promise you, none of it is monetized whatsoever.
yeah,
Like, you're
yeah,
not you're not supporting ethno state fucking guy by
yeah,
watching my Facebook. You're not, I promise. But keep
yeah,
going.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. But then like there are those people who, and I think like there is some collateral damage to a strategy that is hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
And like you responding to that was like, okay, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And basically saying like there's going to be collateral damage, but enough is enough. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like it's still, even as I'm like talking through this and talking out loud, like it still is a little bit like it sucks. It sucks
So
that it
that's the
has
thing.
come to this,
That's the thing. I think it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's funny.
yeah. And I, for the most part, think it's fine.
I think it's
Yeah,
extremely funny.
yeah,
I can sympathize with not liking it
yeah,
totally. And like
yeah.
I'm not saying that this is like my favorite sport, the game to play. Not at all. It is
Yeah,
very much I feel like there's just nowhere else to
no other
go
option.
and
Yeah, yeah,
someone has to do something.
yeah,
But yeah, like fucking with people on the internet can be very funny.
yeah.
And to my benefit and to like my strategy, people somehow, at least in the dog world, they've been sort of like disconnected from just like internet shitposting decorum.
Yes,
So
yes, yeah.
these people that are awful people, awful trainers, treat dogs like shit. They take everything so fucking seriously except for
Yes,
dog training.
yes,
Except for dog training.
yeah,
So like someone will be like when I tell people that the dog has a hidden e-collar receiver on each of his feet and I'm tapping them simultaneously.
yeah,
People are like,
yeah,
"Whoa, dude, like why would you ever do that to a dog?" I'm like, "You can't like there's no way you are actually," and they believe it every time.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
there's no sarcasm, there's no so I also benefit from that because these people spiral. Like they'll
Mhm.
take a sentence that I say that's clearly just not true,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And they'll
yeah,
spiral on it for weeks. And
yeah.
again, it draws attention to their pages where people
Mhm,
click on this professional behaviorist dog trainer and they scroll and it's like, it's been 6 weeks since there's been a video with a live dog in it.
mhm.
And then I go over to this domestic terrorist page that you're talking about, and the entire thing is crazy, outrageous behavioral rehab that I've
Yep.
never even seen before, that
Yeah,
people say
yeah,
shouldn't be possible.
yeah.
And the dogs are all incredibly happy.
Mhm.
And like, and when you go into my comments, you don't see the neo Nazis and the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
KKK. It's like normal dog training people that are just like having fun with their dogs.
Yep,
So
yep.
like, it's kind of like there's like a UFO and people and like I'm pointing at it going, guys, there are aliens here, and everyone's like, oh, we're busy. And I'm like, okay. And I pull my pants down. Like, oh, there's a naked guy, and then it's like, oh, there's aliens. It's like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
It's so
someone
funny.
forcing a level of attention to what's been
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like and as a side piece to that too, I think it's fucking hilarious. Like
yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah,
repost the funniest shit largely for comedic effect. But anyways,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Yeah, no, and I think like that's kind of the overall not like point I want to make, but like just to get people thinking, like because I appreciate the way that you make me think about things in a different light, and like I guess that's kind of my purpose in like drawing this topic out and talking about it. If, and like that's so when I'm if I ever post online, and I'm not super active online, like it's just
not yet. We're gonna get there.
yeah.
I'm gonna be fucking with you until you start posting training, you know.
But yeah, like actually it's even funny, like I don't know, like even, you know, Snapchat or whatever, I'm like, I just don't like even to my friends, I just like don't do a lot of online communication apart from like logistics essentially. But anyway, so like it is kind of this foreign concept to me. But if I do say something where I'm like, oh, this is worth saying something publicly about, I am always thinking not just about not just about the person that I'm actually responding to, but also to the audience that is reading it. And I think that's a big thing where I see all the time people arguing points on Facebook where it's like they think that they're again like if people get into a conversation with like two completely different perspectives or ideologies and they think that they're going to change the mind of the person that you're arguing with, and that's not the point. The point is for those watching the debate. And I think that's I always see that in your content that like you're trolling the bad trainer that you're responding to. You have no intention at all
Why would I try to win
and
them
no
over?
belief and like right,
Why
right,
would I try to win them over? I
right.
like I get this. I don't mean to
But people
sound
get
like
stuck in that
annoyed,
trap.
but like this I get this every once in a while. They're like, Dylan, you're not going to get them to change sides by doing that.
I think it's the point.
Why are you trying to get them to change sides?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's not what
over,
a
dude.
debate is
That
for.
ship
Yeah,
has fucking sailed.
yeah.
And
And
this
even like
isn't
you watch a
just
presidential debate, the debate is not about those two
you're trying to
opponents.
win the voters, right? You're trying to win the
Correct.
voters.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we are trying to win
And
over.
treating online arguments like that is
Right.
definitely
We are
mindset.
trying like I want to win over dog owners and I want
Mhm.
dog trainers that are trying their best and doing good things to feel emboldened to be able to go out
Yeah.
and experiment and show what they're doing.
Yep.
Even if you
Yep.
get it wrong. It doesn't make you a
Yep.
fucking psychopath, right?
Yep. It's not a
You shouldn't be
moral
afraid.
failing.
You shouldn't be
Yep.
afraid to show a video with a dog wearing a prong collar, right?
Yep. Yep.
That is where being nice has gotten us.
Yep.
I am
Yep.
fucking sick of it. It's
Yeah.
over, dude. I'm not playing with it. And by the way, too, like I was mentioning this before we started, I don't I don't need the social dog training apparatus.
No.
I don't. I don't
No.
care if I get disavowed by every
Yep.
famous online trainer. It means nothing to me.
Yep.
As long as people are struggling with their dogs with severe behavioral issues and they
Mhm.
want to have hope, I'm going to be fine because I'm going to be training dogs forever because
Yep.
it is all I care about in this
Yep.
realm. I do
Yep.
not care about tone and who's friends with who and what statement I'm going to make that. No, I'm
Mhm.
not going out of my way to try to like fuck with people and make people mad. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I have zero reservations. If there is something going on that is fucking dogs up, I do not care who is doing it and who is promoting it.
Mhm.
I'm going to show it. Hey, this guy's a fucking moron,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? If
Yep.
you think playing with dogs makes them aggressive, you're a fucking shithead.
Yep.
We
Yep.
we don't and if you've been making videos about that and talking shit about people over that, like I'm not gonna try to sit at the table with you and have a nuanced discussion.
Yep.
I'm gonna be like, look at this fucking clown, everybody laugh. And while you're here, look at my dogs. And
Yep.
look at the absence of dogs from his page.
Yep.
And make a decision. Who
Yep.
wins? You know
Yep.
what I get a lot of? Man, I maybe I'm fucking retarded and I don't like that Dylan calls people retarded, but you just can't deny the dogs. You can't.
Yeah.
Like you just
Yeah.
can't. Like
Yeah.
you
Like
actually just can't.
both of those things you can hold in separate compartments. And
And you will
that's
never see me do like the pivot to like anti PC like trigger it again. No, you're not like
yeah. Yeah.
that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like
baiting.
I think your use of like gay and retarded and blah blah like all those slurs is just like lazy. But like
Right.
it's
Right.
like it's not
And it has
intentionally
it has the added effect of for some reason inflicting super
yes.
effective damage. Like
Yes.
4 times
Yes.
super
Yeah.
effective damage. Like a water
Yeah.
flying type
Yeah.
getting hit with electric. Like that's
Yeah.
just what this
Yeah. Yeah.
does. It just so happens to
Yeah.
be how I talk.
Yeah. And
You know
like
what I'm
when
saying?
I've brought that up before, you've just been like the pro outweighs the con, basically, that like
It's not
I
even
can
close.
get that yeah, like you can get that reaction.
Last thing on that
Yeah.
particular thing, the pro and the con, unless you've got follow up where people are like, dude, the
Yeah,
message
yeah.
is getting lost. The message is getting lost. It's like,
Is it? Yeah. Yeah.
that, like, all available evidence doesn't just say that that's wrong.
Hmm.
Like, that's insane to say that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what have I done
Yeah.
in 2 years? Like, let's just be
Yeah. Yeah.
like
No, it is
honest.
insane. Yeah.
two
Yeah.
years going from like I'm in my hiding in my backyard and walking dogs through Home Depot,
Yep.
low e-collar stimming them with food.
Yep.
No one knows my name to
Yep.
here. And I
Yep.
have not compromised on a single fucking thing about me.
Yep.
The
Yep.
message is not
Yeah.
getting lost. I
Yeah.
promise you it's
Yeah.
not fucking getting lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, like I think people that can read intent or like how to say it, like what is just basically like laziness versus being intentionally uh malicious, like it's
Oh,
a
I'm being
little bit
malicious.
obvious. No,
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
being
but like
malicious.
malicious, you're not trying to like make people feel bad, is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like you're not being like
Right.
intentionally.
Right. That's fucking
You're being intent.
ridiculous.
Like I would
That's
use
ridiculous.
different words to call out somebody that I don't like, and I would
Right.
describe them differently
Right.
than what you are. But like, so like, yes, you're
I,
malicious,
I almost I
but
almost don't even want this
but
part
it's
to be in the
not.
show because I like
Yeah.
I want people to continue to think there's a possibility I'm homophobic.
Okay, I can cut some of it.
No, we can leave it in. We
Oh,
can leave it in. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of
that's
want to
fine.
keep I want to keep it up
Yeah, 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 yeah,
because it just continues to fuel
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what our
yeah,
enemies react with, and it
yeah,
just makes
yeah,
them look increasingly insane.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like yeah, I'm kind of going in circles on it. But like I got a comment
No, I know. Yeah,
the other day. I like there's a um like a newcomer on one of my pages is like, uh, man, I love this stuff, but I think that Dylan's what was it? It was so fucking funny. It was like calls to mass violence and like terroristic threats or something.
yeah,
And I was like, that's okay. I didn't say anything. It's just like it's just so funny how people can take shit posting so seriously.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah,
I told this lady to lock her doors.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I followed up with, statistics about how it's good home ownership to keep your doors locked, and then you do a pivot into it's just I tell my dad to lock his door, like, I tell my wife to
Yep,
lock the door. This just
yep,
drives them fucking insane. Like, they can't
yep.
it's the most, like, level 0 bait, like, no thought,
Yes.
and they just can't like, they just can't it's insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, another good one, another good this is a Sam Hyde joke, like, "Don't put me in a self-defense situation."
Okay.
So, like, I'll say that to one of these guys, I'll be like, "Yo, I'm feeling kinda threatened, like, just be very
Yeah.
careful not to put me into a self-defense situation." They'll be like they'll DM me, they were like, "Hey, earlier you said something about you feeling threatened and you would do something. Can you be very specific about what you wanna do to me?" Like, it's I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, by the way. It's just I'm like, dude, when did everyone lose the ability to like see what's going on?
Yeah,
It's just I don't know, it's just insane. It's insane.
yeah. Um, one of the things that I wanted to go back to is something you were saying earlier. Because we said that I think this was in our like ghost episode. The idea that and like I think this is a really interesting topic in and of itself is like how much we are allowed to express emotion versus this kind of like whitewashed, sanitized, like, yeah, we're gonna recommend euthanasia without like batting an eye kind of thing. Oh, a side note before I get into that though too. The other thing that I think is interesting, like with you're talking to your audience, not the person you're debating with. I
Right.
definitely didn't realize how much trainers getting into the industry and owners looking for dog trainers are affected by the online culture because I am coming from sport. So like I started training pet dogs way after I was already past a lot of like the developmental phases of like feeling okay with expressing my own just doing things the way I wanted to do it. And I just didn't have that worry by the time I actually jumped into professional dog training and taking people's money for it. Like, I'd been doing sports for, I don't know, over a decade or whatever. And so I didn't realize until I saw some of the people who got courage from seeing you post, I didn't realize that that was so impactful to people, and how much people were actually getting shamed for, like, I knew, like, cognitively I knew, but, like, I hadn't seen, like, testimonials about it, you know what I mean? Or, like, actual stories, and now I'm noticing that it has actually changed, like, it does have real life consequences, and I know that's, like, duh, but I think there are definitely there is definitely a segment of people in the audience that is like, "Why is this such a big deal?" And, like, I had to have that realization of, like, "Oh, no, like, these people they're posting online that I just ignored because I was like, clearly it's stupid." Um, it does have an effect on people. So this is just an interesting, for me, like, realization to come to, but the thing I wanted to say earlier, um with, like, the fact that people get uncomfortable with you expressing, uh, actual passionate defense of the dogs, it's interesting how much discomfort that causes, and one of the things we talked about in the episode that I'm not gonna publish because it was just bad audio, not because we talked about anything crazy, but, we were talking about, I was watching this video, just, like, scrolling Instagram, right? And there was this dude, he, like, goes around interviewing random people, it's, like, one of those kind of accounts, and he was interviewing this lady on a bus, and he was basically like, "Oh, what do you think about religion and Christianity?" or something like that, and she's like, "I don't think I've ever met a real Christian in my life." And he's like, "What do you mean by that?" And she's like, "Imagine being my best friend and letting me sit here with my eternal damnation in front of me, and not every time you see me bringing it up and trying to change my mind. Like, if you really cared, if you actually believed in what you say you believe, your actions would change dramatically, but people just get complacent." And I was like, "That is such an interesting
Yeah.
point that I hadn't thought of." And I think, like, that sort of radical feeling behavior people look at as, like, inappropriate from a social standpoint, but it's like, no, actually that person's just being very, very, very congruent with their belief system. Um, but yeah, like, that does definitely, it creates some discomfort because it's like, okay, if I actually believe in the welfare of the dogs in the same way that this guy does, there now comes this discrepancy of, like, okay, how does that have to change my actions? Like, that
I
is
can
a
I
little bit
can
of
I can promise you that anyone that has seen me train dogs in person is not surprised at all by my behavior.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I will tell you that much.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's if it doesn't come through on videos, like, of
yep, yep,
course, like, I see how he is
yep,
with the
yep,
dogs.
yep,
Of course, he's not going to allow
yep,
things to go.
yep,
Like, of
yep,
course. Like,
yeah,
that
like,
just
fair enough to say something, yeah.
and I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to be like, "Guys, but I'm doing it." No. You just
Yep, yeah,
this is just we there are certain things that can no longer be tolerated,
mhm,
and I just do not care about any social ramifications.
yeah, yeah,
I feel bad for people that are in positions where their livelihood
yeah,
is
yeah,
affected by potentially taking stances, you know? Because I'll
yeah,
tell you this much, people do try to engage in, like, life and reputational destruction with me on a routine
yeah,
basis.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't mention things because it doesn't impact me because I don't have brand sponsors, I don't go to school anywhere, I don't have a boss, I don't like,
yep,
I'm kind of just, like, really elusive, you can't like, they're trying to shoot me, and I'm just kinda, like, fucking like, they can't hit me, but I will tell you, it
yeah,
doesn't stop them from trying. So,
yeah,
if you're a small business and you've got a Google review page
Yep. Yep.
and a handful of lunatics who
Yep.
balance trainers have allowed to fester and become emboldened. Handful of
Yep.
lunatics decide they want to make a bunch of bot accounts or summon their followers and one
Mhm.
star review bomb your page. That could actually
Mhm.
change how much money you make.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have effectively, almost in a way, they have like a debanking tool on people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they can kind of do that with smaller people that are vulnerable. And I respect that sometimes people feel like they have a bit of a gag order in that way. It's like I
Yeah.
can't step out. But the people
Yeah.
that are so-called leaders
Mhm. Yeah.
who are
Yeah.
famous, who people look to,
Yep.
right?
Like, it's crazy that it's been allowed to get to the point where they have that much power and control over
I
people's lives, essentially, because of
I I am being what I wanted to see
Mhm. Yep.
when I
Yep.
started.
Yep. Yep.
Like that's
Yeah.
actually, and it's not on purpose, but I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, if
Yeah.
I wish I
Yeah.
had this guy
Yep.
when I was like
That's how I
6
run my
months into
sport
training and I
club,
was
is,
horrified.
like, I got so fucked over so many times that now it's like, I cannot imagine embodying anything other like, the same way that you're like, the force-free, uh, community created you, like, bad sport dog culture created me, and it is very much like yeah, like you said, it's not like a conscious thought, but it's like, I simply cannot imagine treating my club members the way that I have been treated in the
Yeah.
past, and it's like,
Yeah. So
if
you're
you
incidentally
actually
becoming what you
yes,
should have had.
yes, yes, and I think what's so interesting about that, it is that is kind of a, that is a reflection of the people that should have protected you that didn't, right? And, like, that's a very sad
Right.
position to be put in, is that, like, you have to become the thing that you didn't have, and not everybody's gonna be able to do that. Like, that becomes a very tangled
Right.
mess very quickly too, but yeah, sorry, I kind of interrupted you, but,
No, I totally, so like sometimes I'll get people that'll be like, well, you're in this position, like maybe you should take it more seriously. I'm like,
you're taking it deadly seriously. Yeah. Yeah, like, and I think
definitely.
that's what's so
Like,
interesting is, like, I I've definitely done things in defense of my club members and my club culture that people have found extreme, and I'm like, "There is no other option."
I don't care. Yeah.
Like, that's such a wild place to be pushed to, and I think, like, until you've been there, it's hard to understand, and I think, like, that's what I didn't understand about, um yeah, like, it makes me really, really, really sad to see how poorly and constantly and, like, this is a whole 'nother, messy culture that needs a ton of change and a ton of accountability, but whenever I hear about people's really poor experiences in their first club and the way they've been treated, I'm like, "Damn, like, that hurts." And, like, I will do everything in my power to rectify that situation, and I can't imagine just turning a blind eye when someone tells me that experience and being like,
Yeah.
sorry,"
Right.
but, like, not doing anything about it. And not
Right.
not that I'm, like, sending a letter to that person and being like, "Fuck off," but, like,
Right.
my actions and the way that I present myself in the world is deeply affected by that
Right.
knowledge.
But like the person that was perpetrating it is a friend of a friend. And when
Right.
you go to this dinner at this award ceremony, it
Yep.
might be awkward at
Yep.
the table for
Happens
15
all the
minutes. Like
time.
that's
Yep.
actually what these people are thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
That's
Yep, and so they won't confront it for that, and it's
right.
like,
Right.
yeah, you're
Right.
allowing abuse of dogs and people just because well, and I think there's also this thing of, like, if I call out someone else for improper use of the electric collar, I'm opening myself up to scrutiny for my use of the electric collar, and that, like, slippery slope kind of thing, where it's like
But you have to, like, okay. These are two different conversations now because you're
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
being critical of people's like genuine good faith dog training, right?
Yes.
Where like in this example, I'm thinking that the person using the e-collar that is doing it totally wrong, they
Yeah.
are just trying to train dogs. So now we can have a
Yeah.
dog
Yeah.
training discussion. And if we have a
Yeah.
dog training
No,
discussion, we
that's
don't
true.
have
Yeah.
to we
Sometimes,
shouldn't
sometimes
have
not.
to right, right. But
Yeah. Yeah.
like we shouldn't have to crush each other if we're just
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
dogs.
Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
like if I try talking dogs for 3 years
Yep. Yep.
and I get 0 takers,
Yep.
we're not talking dogs anymore.
Yep. Yep.
It's
Yep.
over.
Yep.
You lost that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
That is
mean?
very
And
true.
that's also a framing thing that balance trainers have fallen for. Huge
Mhm.
psyop. Everyone
Yep.
everyone fell for, which
Yep.
is that if someone DMs you and says, "I hope someone does this to you because of what you're doing with that dog."
Mhm.
That's criticism.
Mhm.
Like I genuinely have had people conflate like actual harassment, whatever, it's on the
Yeah.
internet, whatever,
Yeah.
threats of violence, non-credible,
Yep.
like character assassination, reputation assassination claims
Yep.
with, oh, Dylan likes to play and doesn't use food. Like literally people think like
Right.
balance trainers have been
Right.
fucked. I
Right.
think that they've been bullied and
Yeah.
harassed so
Yeah.
much, they've kind of developed this acceptance of
Yeah.
like, oh,
Those
of
are the same.
course, like they're saying you're a dog abuser. That's a totally, dude, that's a criminal accusation.
Mhm. Mhm.
Dog abuser is a criminal accusation, by the way.
Yep. Yep.
So when
Yep.
you call me a dog abuser, that is not a dog training critique.
Right. Right.
You're a bad person, and I will treat
Yeah.
you like a bad person.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not going to go, well, actually, the electric collar simulation is similar to that of a TENS unit. And no, fuck you, retard.
Mhm.
Show your
Mhm.
dogs. If
Mhm.
I'm a dog abuser and my dogs are this much better than yours, my dogs who come in with brutal bite histories, total
Yep.
out of control antisocial behavior, look better at like 5 weeks than the dogs you live with.
Mhm.
You are a fucking retard.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is you're not criticizing anything. You're a fucking retard.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
why are we like giving that, just granting that? Dog
Yeah.
abuser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
it's a dog abuser. Oh, it's just a we disagree. No, that's not a disagreement. That's not how you fucking
Yeah.
disagree with people. Like
Yes.
holy shit.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is not dialogue. Trying to understand.
Like
Yeah.
when I'm like if a trainer asks for my help or something, I'd be like, hey, I wouldn't do it like that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then maybe they see me do something and they're like, well, why did you do this? I'm like, I don't
Yep.
know. I don't like that. This is why. It's okay.
Yep.
And then everyone
Yep.
just goes home.
Yep. Yep.
Like that's how it's supposed to fucking work, dude.
Yep. Yep.
And we've accepted just absolute insanity.
Mhm.
Like total fucking insanity.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
the asymmetrical expectation of behavior,
Yes. Yes.
if we fire back,
Yes.
oh my God. Oh my God.
You're a bully. Yeah.
Get
Yep.
fucked.
Yeah.
It's not happening. It's just
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just not happening.
Yep. Yeah. No, and like I do want to like push you back to finishing your thought on like the leaders of the industry should have been saying something. And I do think there is a shift in people's tolerance levels for fence sitting. And I do think like it is going to come to a point where, and I've said this before, I think the younger generation of dog trainers is, I mean, you said it too just now, like we're sick of it. And I think that is going to result in a shift in how we're handling these situations. But I don't think a lot of the like old guard understands, and they're going to get left behind, which is unfortunate. But yeah, like there definitely is a wave of like newer dog trainers that are just like, nah, we're not going to play the game anymore, and shifting that perspective from the old guard that has played those games. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what the next even like 2-3 years. I was gonna say 5 years, but I think it's happening quicker than that. I am curious what it's gonna bring.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll see comments now. I really try not to watch other dog trainers stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of I set a rule for myself. I broke it already, but I was like, I'm just not gonna watch dog trainer videos that don't have a dog in them. Um, and
Yeah.
like the entire, if everyone did that, the entire like all of these horrible frauds, their businesses would close overnight because they don't train
Yep.
dogs.
Yep. Yep.
Um, like, but I'll see comments on a post where someone is making like hard fact claims about the use of aversives or reactivity rehab, whatever,
Hmm.
and a comment from someone that doesn't follow me that
Hmm.
says, "Can you prove it? Where are the videos?"
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah. 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 Like I think it
like,
the saturation is happening, which is interesting.
yeah, dude." So it's
Yeah.
just I've got some extremely bad news for the day-to-day detractors out there. They won't watch this.
No.
They won't watch this. They only watch my my bait
Clippable.
that I put on my Instagram
Clippable
stories.
content. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I feed them. They come to the trough and I pour the slop in the trough. And then, oh my God. And they're tagging like Syracuse news networks. It's crazy. It's so good. It's fucking insane. Um, but I've got really bad news. I am only going to be doing more.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I've only been really training dogs in like a serious
Yeah.
capacity for 2 years now.
Yeah. No, it's
Like
insane.
actually knowing how to train dogs. Two
Yeah. Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Yep.
And like publicly documenting the behavioral cases and
Mhm.
stuff. I'm just going to be doing more and I'm going
Mhm.
to be more vocal. Like
Yep.
this is not stopping. That this is I'm
Yep.
not going anywhere.
Yep.
Eventually, someone is going to have to start showing me dogs, or people are just going to have to alt F4. Those are the two things you can do
Yep.
in
Yep.
Minecraft. In Minecraft. So um yeah,
Oh man.
this is where we're at. And
Yeah.
I am not interested in doing what everyone's doing. Oh my
Yeah.
God, you're not, but now I'm not gonna get invited to the IACP. Okay, dude, that's fine.
Yep. Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
Oh, you're gonna lose all these speaking opportunities. Okay,
Yep.
those things take me away from training dogs, dude.
Yep. Yep.
I just train dogs every fucking
Yep.
day. That's what I'm going to
Yep.
keep doing. It
Yep.
is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We can talk about actual dog training for a little while now. One of the things I wanted to talk about that I think is an interesting topic, because this is one of those things that I've kind of not like criticized you harshly for or anything, but because you're responding to what is already out on the internet, and the fact that the bar is so low on
Yeah.
rehab, when you say that like a dog is fixed,
Mhm.
I think there are definitely people in the audience that watch that and then go, oh shit, my dog still has this issue, but it's a lot better, but it's not fixed, and I feel like I should be able to fix that. So I kind of just want to talk about like what is an actual realistic expectation of like, even when it's the optimal training, and kind of like assuming that everything is done properly, what is sort of a reasonable expectation, and like pull out that idea of like management fills that gap, but we have to see how far the training goes, but
Yeah.
also if there's management left over, it's okay. But this comes from one comment on one of your posts where and like I'm the same way, where the goal for me when I send a dog home is that the client can do as little as possible and the dog still exists well in their life. So like I don't want to have to put them on place in order for the cat to be loose in the house. Like they should just know, don't chase the cat, leave the cat alone, whatever. And that isn't a common like, it is acceptable to send a client home being like, or send a dog home and telling a client, hey, this dog needs to be on place whenever the cat's loose. That's just how it is. But hey, you have a really solid place command. So like, are there dogs then that, okay, we can get to the point where we've suppressed the cat chasing, cat biting, whatever behavior to a point where it's very, very functional. But there are going to be times where the dog is just like, I need to try and see if that stove is still hot. And like, what is the reality of, especially those behaviors where we are kind of fighting genetics? And like, encouraging trainers to push the envelope, but without pushing them into feeling defeated when they don't get perfection. And like, I see people getting stuck in that quite frequently. It's very, very common in the sport world, right? Where like you see this beautiful world level IGP3 routine and you're like, I've been doing all the things, I've been working my ass off, and my dog just is not as fast as this dog. And it's like, but this is your dog versus this competitor's dog, like all those things. Anyway, not a well-worded question, but like I'd be curious to hear like your take on how you think about just like appropriate expectations for a dog and how far you can go in the rehab, and like when okay, this is kind of as far as we get, where do you see the ceiling, and like how would you know, that kind of thing.
That last part there is its entire own question.
Yeah.
That it's really like both. Um, so there's a reason why I talk so much crap about management, and it's not
Yeah.
because I think management is bad.
Yeah.
It was never because I'm anti-management. It was
Yep.
never because I don't use management.
Yep.
This is what's going on. Is everyone here? Okay. Management, I would roughly say, is like obedience control, physical, tangible control, and environmental control.
Yep.
So like just considerations and mechanisms that we use to prevent things from happening or avoid certain things that ultimately are set in place to restrict the dog's ability to make choices.
Yep.
That is what management is, right?
Yep.
There is nothing wrong with any of that on its own. This is the problem. This is where we are at right now. And I think people are waking up big time to the force-free thing, but I'm waiting for everyone to kind of realize how bad behavioral mod is.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of management has been used as a default goal, like program, goal, and method for basically everyone that does behavioral rehab. Instead of thinking it, so they're thinking of it backwards, where they're going in management, maximizing management, looking for excuses to use management. Whereas what we should be doing is going in and seeing, like what you said, how little can we get away with in terms of management? So people are coming from the opposite direction. And the unfortunate part about this is it's very easy. It requires zero skill.
Yeah.
It requires zero skill to not get bitten by dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zero. You do not need dog trainers to do that. It requires zero skill to get a muzzle on a dog. It requires zero skill to e-collar stim a dog to lay on a bed. It requires zero skill to put a dog in a crate. It requires zero skill to have a dog on gabapentin and on a 4-foot leash on a no-pull harness, hiding at the threshold, dropping food on the ground, and he's just fucking dizzy. And shit. None of this, all of this is management, and it requires zero skill. And dog owners do not know to ask for real dog training. So if you are a lazy shithead, or just someone that doesn't know any better, which was me for years. There's no real incentive to try extremely hard if people are willing to pay you $10,000 to suppress the dog.
Yeah.
That's the problem. However, there is a silver lining. When people see more as possible, they go, why is anything else acceptable? So ultimately, I would say most trainers want to do better in this arena and just do not know, like their mentors have told them you can't go any further
Yes.
than this. You
Yeah.
can never trust a dog that's ever bitten.
Yep.
If this dog's been getting into fights with this dog, they can never be around each other.
Yep.
You need to interrupt. If this dog is chasing cars, you need to interrupt his vision every time a car comes by. Like these are people that have been training dogs for 20, 30, 40 years that are like mentors and gods walking the earth that believe these things and pass them down. And then everyone kind of just goes, okay, this is what we do. So
Yep.
they go into the program already knowing that they have failed,
Yeah.
which is a management first thought process. It is failure.
Yeah.
It is pure concession. It is anti freedom. I
Yeah.
would say it's anti behavior
Yes. Yes.
and anti dog training. I actually don't think management is dog training. I actually think it's where dog training ends.
Yeah.
It can be used. And I'm going to get into
It's
what
a tool.
management
It's a
means for
tool.
me, right?
Yeah.
Because I use management, right?
Yeah. You
But
have to.
what I'm saying is that right now the grim reality is, if a random dog owner having trouble with their dog sends their dog off to an aggression rehab program, it is vastly, vastly more likely they are going to get a 5-foot leash muzzle training protocol with basic obedience done poorly for food versus a dog that's been socialized with people versus a dog that can like hang around people and not feel the need to attack anymore. Right? Like that is alien to so many trainers. Like it just does not make sense. And I could get really egotistical right now, but I'll keep it brief.
Yeah.
It is why you still will see a handful of trainers questioning whether or not my dogs that I took in rehab actually had problems to begin with.
Yeah.
It's not actually because they hate me and they're trying to tear me down. Some of them are, but like most of them, I think genuinely are just like, this can't be true. If that dog actually were aggressive, there's no way he could be walking on a 15-foot retractable through a park. You could never do that, right? And he's not even looking at people, and he's not avoiding them either. Like, so if you don't think that's possible, the only logical thing left to do is to manage the dog, right? So should I go into like how I use management, or do you have anything you want to respond to?
No, I mean, I agree with all that. Yeah.
Management exists for me in two cases. One, you have reached the upper limits of what the dog is capable of naturally, and two, you've reached the upper limits of what the client is comfortably capable of.
Yeah, that's a big one.
These are two, I would say they're about as important as each other. Probably like a 50-50. So it's many dogs that I send home have some sort of limitation. They do. Just something where I'm like, you know what? I just know that he doesn't like large crowds of people. But how did I figure that out?
Taking him to large crowds of people.
We went out and tried. I did not take a client story and go, oh, I have history, and just say, you can never do that with me. I took him out and we tried. And the more that you really, really like, I feel like I haven't been doing this for that long, but because of how obsessive I am with evaluating the dog's reactions and perceptions and emotions, I feel like I got like 80 years of experience. I'm not joking. Because the dogs, like, I'm really like, I've gotten to a point now where like I can tell, dude, it's not worth the work to try to get you through this, because number one, the client doesn't even do this.
Correct.
The comfort and the realistic lifestyle. And number two, excuse me, I just know naturally this is a sore spot for you. So if this is not going to impede on the client, you're in the client's life, and you also are just not built for this, well, let's just fucking, hey, just leave it alone. Now, that thought process has been used to a degree that is flagrantly insane. Where it's like, you actually, if you're walking down the street, cannot let him look at people. Or you get this crazy, insane, almost like jihadist dog advocacy religion where it's like,
Mhm.
I know that he like viciously attacked you, but you said his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a bad person.
Yeah. Yep.
Like this is getting into like we're not differing on dog training. Like you're a fucking
Right. Right.
lunatic. You should be
Right. Yeah.
viciously made fun of because that's
Yeah.
going to put people at risk and the dog is
Yes.
going to die
Yes.
because you're not willing to acknowledge, hey, there's a really good chance we can modify this behavior for real.
Yes.
Modification. Modification, right?
Yep.
So when I have a dog in for a program, I don't actually know what's achievable. But
Mhm.
I take all of the situations and things and scenarios and schemes that I can think of, and I try to squeeze the fucking rag as dry as possible.
Yeah.
Every percentage of good emotion
Mhm.
and comfort and happiness and social
Mhm.
social energy and cooperation and respect and
Mhm.
submission to authority. I squeeze all
Mhm.
of those things in every scenario, every real world scenario I can find, so that I can look the client in the eye and say, this is how I think you should introduce him to people. He's gonna fucking love it, dude.
Yep. Yep.
Also, don't do this.
Yep.
If you do that and he bites, he's in serious fucking trouble,
Yep.
to be clear,
Yep.
which people, oh my God, don't care. Better than
Yep.
you. Don't
Yep.
care. But that doesn't mean that we can't help him
Yes.
and just
Yeah.
use some management, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
like if you've got a dog that I'm trying to think of a really good one, like an example of me.
Well,
Okay.
okay, so this is one I have right now is I have a dog and they're playing very roughly, which is why I'm like very distracted, but they're actually being very good.
Love it.
Like my
Love it.
shepherd is pestering her and she's egging him on. Anyway, but her issue was not actually with other dogs even. But I saw it as something where I was like, okay, we can use this as a little bit of a not a proxy per se, but like it's a good opportunity to practice uh like her understanding how to actually like tolerate and control her emotions and yada yada. Um she, when I first got her, she would be like laying in the corner and a dog would walk past like 10 feet by her and she would just like attack them, like lose her temper on them. Not like to the death, but just like, hey, you have my personal bubble. Eventually punish that behavior. But and she knows that she has to tolerate it if it happens, if a dog pesters her while she's sleeping. However, I try not to let dogs pester her while she's sleeping because like
Right.
why?
Right.
She's
So
trying to
okay.
get comfortable. Like why would
You gave me
I let
you
that
gave me
happen?
a really
You
good
know?
one. You gave me a really good one. Because even that one is it should be obvious, right? That should obviously make sense. But I think I can go even more like a stark, just like pieces on a board, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I had a dog from Colorado come into my program.
yeah,
His name's Badger. He's a cattle dog.
yeah,
And multiple trainers, blah, 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 whatever. Everyone sex, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Okay. It's been like 6 years now where he's been just totally segregated from the other dogs in the house. There's 4
Mhm.
other dogs in the house, and he has to be kept on his own. And they're just like, dude, we hate living like this. This sucks. He's blowing up at dogs in public. He's getting into scraps with dogs in public, blah, 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 whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
I take him in the program. He makes a million dog friends, no longer reactive, actually very social, goes back home.
Yeah,
There is one dog in that house.
yeah,
And we had this conversation because it was these two have had a rivalry, like a bitter feud all
yeah.
throughout this dog's aggression streak, where I told them,
Mm,
guys, it's possible these two just don't like each other, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just don't like each other.
Yep.
They haven't fought again, right?
Right.
But
Right.
part of that is because I told them, hey, have them out off leash,
Yep.
have them hanging around the house. I
Yep.
would not grab both of them and throw them in the back of the truck together.
Correct. Yep.
I would not fucking do that and close
Yep.
the door. And now they can't
Yep.
get out and they're trapped together like claustrophobic. Like I would
Yep.
not.
Yep. Yep.
If they fought, they would be in serious trouble. But I would not be surprised if they had an issue. So why
Correct.
do it?
Correct. Correct.
because it is my suspicion that they're just never going to be friends.
Yep. Which
They're
is
like
fine.
they're
Just
cool,
can't fight
they're
'em.
cool, they're cool with each other, and
Yep.
that's all we need.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And they can all be
Yeah,
friends with the
it's
other
to the
dogs.
point where the quality of life has been exponentially increased.
Right.
There is no reason to push it any further because there is a
Right.
0.001% increase in quality of life of the convenience of throwing them in the back of the car together instead
Right.
of just putting them in a crate. Or
Potentially causing needless issues
Yeah.
over something that may be immutable. They may just hate
Yep.
each other. It is what
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
But okay. Check this out. Okay.
Yep.
So I sent home a dog the other day, a few days ago now.
Yep.
He was with me for 8 weeks.
Mhm.
I had him meet the first 2 dogs I had him meet were my black lab and this German Shepherd that I was boarding, a client dog I
Okay.
was watching for a weekend.
Yeah.
And on site, his like just he looked like I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm gonna wait for Dylan
Yeah.
to turn around, and
Yep.
I'm going to fucking destroy you. And I was
Yep.
like, whoa, because he was a
Yeah.
human aggression case.
Right.
But
Right.
because of the human aggression, they
Yep.
haven't been able to go out and like meet dogs. So I
Yep.
was like, holy shit. Okay, there's been this latent, like serious dog problem. It's like, okay.
Mhm.
So I just like I tell myself, okay, he doesn't like dogs. Like this is a clear management angle. Don't just don't have him fuck around with other dogs. That's okay. That's fine.
Yep. Yep.
However, I kept trying.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
kept giving him chances. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
And he's made like a dozen dog friends since.
Yep. Yep.
And he's got the
Yep.
full green light to go home and play with
Yep.
dogs.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's more than likely he's dog selective.
Yep.
Or he was just in a really fucking bad
Yes.
mood those 2 times.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
So I'm not going to take this snapshot. I've got the dog for
Mhm.
this long program. Why would I just instantly settle for management when
Yep.
I haven't even why not just try, dude?
Yep. Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's so fucking lazy. And people don't even go that far. They go off of a story that the client told
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're like, well, he has to be muzzled around guests forever.
Yep.
You
Yep.
didn't even try, dude.
Yep. Or the dog
you're
is like
going-
barking out the window at other dogs, and they're like, "Well, clearly his dog."
And you
aggressive," and it's like,
you haven't tested intentions.
Yes.
You
Yes.
haven't given him an out. You
Yes.
haven't shown him that nothing happens afterwards.
Yes.
You like you haven't shown him that if you do that, you're in trouble.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
they just go, oh well, fucking can't do that. It's like,
Yep.
dude.
Yep.
And this carries a lot of like the recklessness accusations. I don't get them anymore, but I used to get them all the time.
Yeah.
Where I would have like a really like an insane dog come into my program, and in like 4 or 5 weeks, that dog's just out walking with me.
Yep.
And like
Yep.
meeting my friends.
Yep.
And I've got a really unique group of individuals in my area that are just
Yeah.
they are just constantly talking about me. It's insane. Like I think they have
Yeah.
like they must have like a day-to-day blog or something, but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just all over talking about how Dylan takes these terrible, dangerous dogs out, and he's just waiting. Like someone's
Mm.
gonna get fucking mauled, and it's like when you look at the dog, it
Yep.
just looks like a normal dog.
Yep.
And the
Yep.
reason the dog looks like a normal dog is because he feels like a normal dog.
Yep. Yep.
Which means he's not going to bite
Mhm.
because I modified the behavior.
Yep. Yep.
If you think that behavioral modification is not possible and management is the beginning
Yep.
and the end,
And you've condemned that dog to that behavior
you've
for
just
life.
sentenced that dog to life, then of course actual behavioral modification would look like this scary, insane, fake
Mhm.
thing or controversial thing.
Yep.
Right. Or the other one that I talked about earlier, the dog was never that bad. Not truly aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dog
Yes.
was not truly aggressive.
Yes.
Fucking
Yep.
shout out. All right.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That is just people that go in with restrictions and limitations that just don't try, that
Yep.
assume that the dog can't do certain things. They
Yep.
implement management under the name of behavioral modification. They charge thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And because so many people are doing it, dog owners think that's it.
Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Something else I wanted to pick out from like saying like, okay, we're not gonna throw those two dogs in the back of the car together, whatever. This idea of like, well, don't set the dog up for failure, and
Mhm.
that means to us, like to people
That's
that
when
are
there
like, yeah,
back
yeah, we can
home,
talk about that
guys.
reasonable.
That's when
Yes,
the dog's
yes,
back home.
yes,
Holy
versus
shit.
then conflating that into never allow the dog to make a
Don't
mistake
train.
ever. Yeah,
Right, like, don't
yes,
train.
yeah,
You see,
yeah,
you can use that and just say never train.
yes, yes, yeah,
Not
yeah,
setting them up for failure means just leave them alone forever, and
yep,
nothing bad will ever happen. Oh, that's an exaggeration. Show me your dogs,
yep,
because that's
yep,
what you're doing. That
yep,
is what you are fucking doing.
yep,
So,
yep.
oh my god, this is an entire different one. You get these geniuses. They don't say this to me anymore.
Mhm.
Guys, I'm telling you, avoidance training works. You just have to clap these people up
Punishment works.
and have
That okay, that's the fucking hilarious part about the force-free strategy is the only thing they've been effective at is changing the culture and
right
scaring the
suppression,
dog trainers
suppression,
into hiding, and
literally
they
suppression
have yes,
tactics.
it's
Yes,
been
yes,
effectively
right,
that is the only thing they've been successful at is
right,
punishing other humans, and the irony is
right,
just striking.
right.
Yes.
Now, could you imagine if they on after the punishment could run a prediction error where they actually showed their dogs are better? This would be over.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I would be a force free trainer and I'd be
Yep.
bragging about
Yep.
it.
100%. 100%.
But they can't. So they
Yep.
stop at suppression.
Yep.
That's all they have.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, the you shouldn't if you're taking a dog in for behavior. Okay, another one. I've got a dog coming next month. I am going into the program knowing I have no idea what's going to happen.
Mhm.
I have no clue. I don't know.
Yep.
And I'm telling the people I don't know how far we're going to get.
Yep.
And if you're being honest with yourself when you take on a dog that has potentially serious behavioral issues, there's always that element in there.
Yep.
I tell people I am extremely confident with human aggression. Extremely to the point where it's kind of becoming boring to me, to be honest with you. Like it's
Mhm.
like my wheelhouse is human aggression. And it
Yep.
just so happens that like nobody else has any idea what's going on.
Yep.
So the bar is low, but like I'm doing a good job, right?
Yep. Yep.
But I've got a dog coming in that's like really like hyper vigilant, like hyperventilating on walks. And I
Mhm.
only have 4 weeks, which is half of my
Oh,
program
wow.
length.
Yeah.
So to
Yeah.
me, that's actually exciting
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
with this dog, I just sent home Ollie. Like I knew, like 3 weeks in, I was like, I know the rest of this aggression rehab. I know what's going to happen, and everything happens the way like, you know what I'm saying. You just get
Yep.
comfortable. So like
Yep.
this is uncomfortable. I don't know what's going to fucking happen. She could go home and just go back to blowing up. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You have to accept that reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
management, and it's not always. It's very rarely an all or nothing thing.
Mhm.
Maybe I can get her
Yep.
70% of the way there.
Yep.
But then maybe there's like a hey, periodically on the walk, you have to give her a break where you step off to the side. She
Yep.
has to be able to breathe.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I wouldn't just walk her straight to the park because she's gonna have
Yep.
a fucking heart attack, right?
Yep.
It's possible that was a limitation of my training for sure. But
Mhm.
in that moment, that would be like common sense management that I would tell the people. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. Yep. And yeah, like that's an interesting one actually as an example because that almost blurs the lines between training and management, right? Because like if you give the dog a break,
Yeah.
theoretically, she could
That
need fewer and
get
fewer breaks because she gets more
right.
tolerant.
She would get better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She could get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So
Yeah.
I can't even come up with management.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
even fucking do it because
No, I
most
mean,
of the
I think
management that I do, people would say is training. Like
right.
someone
Right. Yeah.
someone asked me a really good question the other day and I like didn't have a good answer at the start. They were like, "What's the dog you sent home with the most management?" I was like, "Oh, wow."
Hmm.
Because like I can give individual examples of dogs with management, but I
Yeah.
was like the most like the totality of it. And it
Yeah.
was this little golden doodle named Summer who
Yeah.
was just bullying the shit out of her elderly owners. They're like,
Right.
okay, what was the management? I was like, well, for the first like month, 2 months back home, she needed to have her little leash on the couch and
Yeah.
she needed
Yeah.
to wear her e-collar inside of the house. And they're like,
Yep.
that was it? I was like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's like
Because I couldn't guarantee, I
is
could not
where the
guarantee that when you put
controversy.
her on the couch, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, that's literally just setting up a good training plan where the owner is ready to deliver the appropriate consequences, you know? But like, yeah,
Right.
I get what you're saying. Like, eventually the goal is that tool should be able to be off the dog. Like,
But maybe the second one,
yeah,
the
yeah.
client comfort, maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I would say
Yes.
client comfort and capabilities.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Capability.
Maybe they just can't get the level of pure authority that they need to be 100% on
Which
that.
is Definitely.
maybe from right. Maybe from time to time, like they just don't feel comfortable having her in a high energy state on the couch without the e-collar. That's totally fine.
Yep.
Totally fine.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I'm not going to say on the initial phone call, "Hey, Dylan, my
Mhm.
dog attacked me on the couch."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Couch is gone forever."
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But you didn't try.
Mhm. Mhm.
You didn't try. You're avoiding.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
where we would go is, hey, maybe we're gonna have to face the music on the couch at some point. That would be
Yep.
really helpful.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah.
then the management minded is like, well, just don't go on the couch. It's like, but
Yep. Yep.
you're not training the dog, dude.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
not training the
And
dog.
then like and what sucks about those sorts of management strategies too is like it's not about the couch, right? So like there's going to be another situation that comes up where the dog is going to run all over the owners and then you're going to go, okay, well now you can't take them outside because she's chasing
Can't put them in a
squirrels and
crate.
yep. Yep.
We
Yep.
can't have them wear a collar anymore because then you try to put a leash on his device. We're
Yep.
gonna switch to a harness so you can like
Yep.
flip it on or a slip collar so you don't have to stay down there in his blast radius.
Yep.
He can't get picked up to be put in the car, so we're gonna get him a ramp. And it's like
Yep.
you're chasing, like you're saying, the
Yes.
problem is going to pop up somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're giving up the most salient, obvious example where you can deal with it.
Yeah.
It just
You can
stands
just
out like the
cut it
couch.
at the yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like back to the original point, right? Is I think that's the polarization of the online world is unfortunate in that it gives the audience sometimes an impression that like any management is bad
Yeah. Well, that's my fault too.
because we're
I don't
reacting to, you know, and like
yeah.
that's I think that's where hopefully the pendulum will start shifting where it's like, okay, now that we have suppressed
Right.
equally the other side to where we can
Right.
start having actual conversations again about dog training
Right.
without having to be so like not on edge but like thinking about that, but then it's like okay, then we can have actual dog training conversations that
Yeah.
aren't like you are just saying what you would say to a good faith dog trainer who's trying to get better instead of thinking about in response to somebody who's just on a completely different planet that we're never going to convince, you know?
Right.
So anyway, that's just something like there's a lot of little things like that where when a content creator posts something they have somebody in their head that they're speaking to and it
Right.
may or may not be you, the
Yeah.
listener.
Yeah.
And be able to like just think about that and like take a step back and be like, okay, like
Yeah.
Dylan's not saying that every single dog is perfect and can just
No.
never wear a collar again in its life or never be on leash again in its life in response to every
No.
command the
Fuck
first time
no.
every time and yada yada. Like that's just not realistic.
So let me
period.
let me tell you this much, okay?
Yeah.
So for anybody that gets that impression from me, guys, like so I just sent home my human aggression case.
Yep.
Towards the end of his program, I just have him like running up to people, right?
Mhm.
Like that's just what we're doing.
Mhm.
I told the owner, do not fucking do that, dude.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You are not me.
Yep.
You're not.
Yep.
Like, that's just one
Yep.
day, maybe you will feel comfortable enough and things will be so
Yep.
like natural that you'll just let it go and
Yep.
go for it. But I'm not
Yep.
telling you need to go home and replicate the
Yes.
end
Yes.
state of an an
Yes.
extremely detailed
Yes.
aggression rehab program.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's not what it is. It's
Yeah.
like
No.
you go ahead.
Oh, that's actually a really interesting point too. Is like I forget how many subtle manipulations that I'm making to the situation or to the dog or to the outcomes are like
Mhm.
as subtle as like, oh, I see you getting a little bit tense. I'm gonna call you away for a second, let you go back. But like again, that's like training management, but like you know, an owner is not going to be able to read that.
Nope.
And there
Nope.
is a point of like, again, client comfort has to come into play.
Yep.
And the consideration of what is actually, what actually matters to the client.
And
Like,
what do you need to live? Like what are the goals?
right, exactly.
So
Like if you don't have another dog in the household,
why?
I'm not going
Right.
to be
So
as concerned
I
about, you know,
I sent him home with a pair of gloves.
right. Yeah.
Ollie hasn't bitten anybody, like bitten in like
Yep.
7 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
And I sent him home with a pair of leather gloves.
Yep. Yep.
And I said,
Yep.
when you start introducing people,
Yep.
I want them to be wearing like a baggy hoodie.
Yep.
And like Carhartt pants.
Yep.
And have them wear the gloves for a few minutes.
Yep.
And if
Because the
you
poor client probably has PTSD that he needs help.
He does. No, he does. He really,
Yep.
really does.
Yep.
At our final
Mhm.
go home lesson, I put him in the fire at an incredibly busy state park where he's walking Ollie
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder with strangers, crowds of people,
Yeah.
right? And he was
Yeah.
horrified. And like that's an entire conversation
Yep.
about
Yep.
like helping clients get through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I definitely next time maybe we get into more like dog training. We don't have to talk about me unless I cause more problems. Like maybe I'll try not to cause problems for like a week. But like that, I sent him home with a management protocol, like a pseudo management protocol
Mhm.
that gets phased out until you say, I actually like this much.
Mhm.
And maybe you keep it. It's your dog, dude.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
It's your dog.
Yeah. Like
If you want to introduce Ollie to everyone for the rest of his life by playing ball with him,
totally fine.
if you want to start on the other side of a fence
Mhm.
and have them come in 5 minutes later with gloves and then take a walk, if you want to do that forever, that's not a knock on
not
his
problem.
behavior and
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Right. But that's management.
Yes.
But the dog, like, he is fundamentally changed.
Yes. Yes.
You know what
And
I'm
I
saying?
think like what's important about that is you sending that dog home can be confident in saying it kind of doesn't matter what the client does because the dog is actually
Right.
he's going to fill the gap that the owner
Yes.
leaves in a way
Yes.
that just was not possible before.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
And that is not something that it's not something you have confidence in unless you have taken him
Yeah.
to the state park and let him run up to
Right.
people or had somebody pet him while he's in obedience and
Oh,
whatever,
dude,
whatever, and discovered what
at the
those limits
first
are.
at the first part of our go home process, like
Mhm.
guy gets there, they reunite.
Mhm.
A guy comes over. Is that an Australian shut? Like comes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
running over to us,
Yep.
and the owner looks at me like, and I was
Horrified.
like,
Yeah.
and like the guy comes over, Ollie sniffs around him. I'm like, hey, like I kind of got to coach the owner in real time.
Yeah.
Guy's like,
Yeah.
oh, can
Yeah.
I pet him? I was like, nah, he doesn't really like. You got to get him to
Yeah.
get to know him before he likes that. You want to throw his
Yep.
balls? Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. And like,
Yeah.
guy's just
Yep.
playing fetch with Ollie.
Yep.
He's like, hey, thanks for letting me say that. Yeah, cool. And like the guy leaves, and the owner's like, of course he just can't. Dude, that would
Yeah.
have been like emergency room. Like
Yes.
not
Yes.
even
Yes.
at the guy getting to us, like at range, hey, can I like
Yes.
would have been gone, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But I told him, I was like, hey, dude, don't do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I want you to see that the dog is capable
It's
of it.
possible. Yes.
But I do not
Yes.
want you to do that. So what you just said is like the way that I put it is I want the behavior to overshoot. Like I
Yep.
want the
Yep.
management to almost be like redundant. It's like
Yes. Yes.
we
Yeah.
just have such a solid dog. This is just
Yep.
basically like retard proofing and
Yep.
like bad mood proofing.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
he's on an off day.
Yep.
Or like he has a neuron fucking twitches and he
Yeah.
has like he thinks it's 4 years ago or something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And that's something where there's definitely it's actually funny because I've kind of learned what to care about and what not to care about. And my husband like knows enough to know what's kind of like good and bad. So like for example, if a dog's jumping on the owner, I'm like, just say no. Don't say down or off or
Yeah.
whatever. Like no just means no. Like keep it simple. I don't want you guys to have to remember a bunch of different words that mean the same thing ultimately. Yada yada. So Evan has kind of been like, that's the rule, right? So like he'll do some drop-offs for me sometimes, and he'll see like a day trade walk in and the puppy's jumping on the owner and they're like off, and he'll be like, you need to talk about that with them. And I'm like, you know, it kind of doesn't matter, you know, like if they're giving the dog a correction and the dog is kind of sort of getting it, they'll figure it out. Like it can't always be perfect.
Yeah.
Or like even you know, like the dog they say come, and then instead of correcting the dog right away or whatever, they just repeat the command and then give the
Yeah.
correction. Like, okay, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not ideal, but the dog's gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And there's little stuff like that where you're like, the dog has to be prepared and able to work with suboptimal handling.
Yeah.
Um, and that's something that like it, it feels kind of uncomfortable because you're like, like it's introducing some conflict and confusion with the
Right.
dog. Like
Right.
these are just normal people that
Yeah.
have no idea, do not want to care about,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
proper dog training fundamentals and whatever.
Right.
But I think that's another one where like people in the beginning of their career is like, it must be this way. And if the
Yeah.
client doesn't fall, I mean, that's a big out, right? But like, if the client doesn't do exactly that, they think the training's just going to like fall apart. And it's like, no, we
Yeah.
need to make sure that it
Right.
doesn't. And it is actually
Well,
fine.
I find I mean, I'm developing kind of a sense for like the most common predictors for ongoing success with especially like
Mm,
aggression cases. And one of
yep.
them I think is an interesting conversation is the momentum. So
Yep.
like they
Yeah.
brought Ollie home and he called his girlfriend that's never met him and was like, let's
Yeah.
go for a walk right now. Like literally
Yeah.
they got out of the truck and like and it went
Yeah.
fantastic. But
Yeah.
it's never going to be optimal.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
kind of have to make peace with that.
Yep. Yep.
There's going to be non-contingent prong pops and like shit like
Yep.
that. And like
Yep. Yep.
it's
Yep.
there are times where if I know, say that we're like during the process with private lessons
Mhm.
and the dog doesn't have that really deep program that we've done where he
Yep.
can be resilient to some nonsense, I will
Yep.
get on people really fucking hard.
Yes. Yes.
Because I
Yes.
know that you
It
tapping
does
before the
matter.
command right
Yes.
now is actually
Yes.
hurting the dog psychologically, and you're
Yes.
never going to be able to help him if you keep doing this. But
Yes.
like when the dog goes home on the topic of like the program falling apart, that is a management problem. So like
Mhm.
if you consider obedience to be management, which I do,
Mhm. Mhm.
if your entire house of cards stands based on
Yes.
how good the client is at healing the dog,
Yep. You
of
just do your job.
course the
Yeah.
obedience is going to be life or death to you. And that
Mhm.
inherently, if you look at just the reality, it's kind of
Yeah.
like working with the reality of the dog genetically. It's like
Yeah.
the reality that clients are never going to be a dog trainer.
Yep.
They are
Yep.
going to make mistakes in obedience and in handling and in
Mhm.
play and all those types of things. So
Mhm.
if that destroys your reactivity rehab program,
Yep.
you either have to like get in a rocket ship and blast off to another world where things are different, or you have to change
Yep.
what you're doing. You
Yep.
have to. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
I I mean I feel like everyone like I went through that realization.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
it's like
Yep.
when I was like e-collar redirecting reactive dogs.
Mm,
And like I
mhm.
would tell the client, like at the end of the program, like you're still gonna do this. You need to practice this. And they just like
Mhm. They
they
don't.
can't do it. They
No.
cannot
No.
fucking do it. Like
No.
it's ridiculous. And I
Yep.
got
Yep.
really, really mean with this old lady one time.
Mm,
And I think in that moment I probably like walked away thinking I was right. But like I look back on it, it's like that's
yeah.
horrible. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it sucks. Yeah. The other thing I was to say too is like showing clients what their dog is capable of. Um, I I really think that a lot of people just don't understand that it's like not that hard to get a dog to like come when called, and people are just mind blown by that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a big one for me is realizing like, yeah, even if the standard is not, because people ask me like, what can I expect after a board and train, like specifically with obedience, like off leash board and trains or whatever. And I'm like, it's going to be less than what it is with me. Like
Hmm.
it just is like, it's going to degrade a
Yep.
little bit. There is
Yep.
no getting around that. Again, dogs aren't stupid, especially the ones that are kind of like looking for some holes and that aren't just like naturally compliant no matter what.
Right.
Um, and but I'm like, but that's okay because it will still be like way better
Way
than
better
what
than
you think
anything anyone's
is
ever seen.
capable.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
here's something.
and it's
Here's a
like, okay, I
question.
can't guarantee your dog is always going to come the first time when called, but I can
Right.
guarantee that you'll be able to get them back within a reasonable. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're not
Right.
going to run away
It's gonna be
anymore.
functional.
Like it's
So
fine.
what do
Yes,
you think about
yes,
this? What do you think about this? Because you just made me think of something.
yeah.
I think that when I do follow-ups, you
Hmm.
know what I see?
Yeah.
I see the obedience is worse and the
Hmm.
behavior's better.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
That's what I
No,
see.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
the
Because
dog is like full-blown happy, like
yes,
very
yes,
awake, very alive, very
yes,
goofy, very funny, but like now
yeah,
the out's sticky.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
tell that's
yeah.
sort of become a place where he's kind of can fucking like
Yes,
stick
yes,
it to
yes,
you a little
yes.
bit.
Push the
Yeah.
buttons. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I would 100% agree. And it is almost that it's that little bit like weird dichotomy of like, well, I was gonna say first, I think it's like the relationship between the dog and human. The human is actually enjoying the dog's company in a way that wasn't
Mhm.
possible before. And so there's like
Yeah.
a genuine connection there that is more important than anything else. But then the other thing I was gonna say is I think like we see this with working dogs where like somebody's a little sloppy on their timing and they do create a little bit of like pushiness and resilience, but
Mhm.
it actually turns out to be a good thing for the dog's character. And sometimes like I've even had it where like the way that I backline dogs where like I want them to realize they can drag a little bit in certain
Mhm.
instances, but I'm too good at posting sometimes to where like they don't get any give.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, dragging is just not a possible. Like I have successfully extinguished that behavior like right away,
Right.
uh, and can't get it back. But then it's like a new handler is like letting them,
Yeah.
bungee back and forth and just like, and the
Yeah.
dog has so much hope built up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
actually stuck on this tether. They believe that they can break it at, like
Right.
they feel like a really strong dog. And I kind of
That's
have gotten
interesting.
intentionally sloppy with my line work sometimes because like I need the dog to be a little bit pushy or whatever. But anyway,
Mm. That's
but it
cool.
is kind of that thing of like the dog being able to punk the owner a little bit on the out and be like, I'm gonna take an extra command for it, or you're gonna have to give me a pop every once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, I think that actually can build the dog's character in a way that but at that point the dog understands there's a limit, right? Like this happens with
Yeah.
people too where like a kid will kind of push some boundaries but there's a limit, but
Yeah.
that sense of sort of like self-efficacy or control over the situation does create a certain level of like, I don't know, just like feeling good about yourself and like self-confidence in a way that again
Yeah.
is not like proper dog training
Right.
but definitely affects the overall mental attitude of the dog. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I think that where
yeah.
this is the payoff, like the payoff to this is so high is especially with more like shut down dogs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly. Like there's certain dogs I would be like, "Oh, this is it actually matters that you stay on this because they are going to
they're gonna
take
fuck
an
with
inch to
yeah,
the
yeah.
mile or
Like
get an inch to the mile." Yeah.
My
Yeah.
Rottweiler that I have right now, like you actually do kind of have to
Yes.
like
Yeah.
like there's very much I mean you can see in the attitude he's a very
Yeah.
happy, goofy,
Yep.
funny dog, but like there I he needs to be on a shorter leash
Yeah,
hypothetical,
he's a
not
bit more of a rank dog. Like
right.
he is actually seeking to
Right.
one up you a lot of
He
the time.
looks for
He's a very
things like
slow Rottweiler.
he's like looking for
Yeah.
things to do like um but with a dog that's like less confident, more kind of like
Yes. Yes.
shut down or shut in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Or even
It's
like kind of a
actually
softy golden retriever kind of thing,
yes, yes, they don't
Like
even need to be disastrous. It's just
right,
like
right,
a
right.
dog that doesn't necessarily have a great
Right. They
vision
don't
of who
walk
they
around with
are
their
and like their
chest out.
place to
Yeah.
work. Right. Having
Yeah.
a moment where, you're out off leash and the dog picks up like a Dorito bag
Yes. Yes.
and you're like, dude, give me that. And
Yeah. Just please keep
it's
away
like,
a second. Yeah.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
play. I'll
Yep.
play with the garbage. Like I will
Yep.
actually. Right. Like
Yep.
that's cool.
Yep.
Like you're kind of
Yep.
fucking with me a little bit. You're raising your voice. Like,
Yep. Yep.
um,
Yep.
yeah, that's always really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, again, it's like those types of reads where like you do just need to kind of play with it and experiment it. And that's the kind of shit that again, like owners don't even know
But I think
half of
ultimately,
what they're
like for
doing. But
trainers, for trainers, you should be emboldened, like, if you're doing
Yes.
the
Break the
fundamentals
rules. Yeah.
right, if you're applying the fundamentals, you're treating the dog well, you are training the dog, like, they are learning non-negotiable obedience,
Yep.
um, you should feel emboldened to, like, fuck around and, like,
Yes.
"What if I
Yep.
let that go right now
Yep.
and, like,
Yep.
try this instead?" Or, like, you just I don't know, that is something to me where I'm almost like not almost, I'm actually always looking for excuses to do
Yeah.
stupid shit that I've never done before.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And everyone it feels like I'm sitting around going like, "Where is everybody?" Like,
Yeah.
everyone's doing the cookie cutter, they're trying as hard as possible to smash the dog into a square so he fits through the hole.
Yep.
Whereas I'm just like, "Fuck it." Like, whatever I'm just going to adapt to the dog. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, and again, like, that matches client life and, like,
right.
the way that, like, normal people live with their dogs
Mhm,
much, 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 much more than us
mhm.
trying to be
Yeah,
super militant,
yeah,
regiment, like, and our job, again, is not to create the dog that lives with us. We're creating the dog that lives with the person that they're going home to,
yeah,
and that requires bending some rules, and,
right.
like, making those value judgments. So, like, if I'm coaching, somebody that wants to be, like, top sport handler or whatever, I'm gonna get on them about sequencing and discrimination period and timing
Right.
in that way. I absolutely am never gonna bring up any of those things to an average owner, and that kind of, like, where you can allow slop and where you cannot, yeah, like, it doesn't have to be this, like, overarching general rule of, like, things always have to be this way. Like, even the thing of, like, if I tell a pet dog to sit and they down, I don't care. Do not
Right,
care at all. And some
right,
people, like, lose their mind over that, and I'm like, "Why does it matter? The
right.
dog understands, stay in this spot until I release you." Like, I don't care. Their owner doesn't care. I guarantee fuck it to you, you know? But
Unless
that's, like,
unless unless you can see there's something behind their eyes about it.
100%. And actually, I had
But
a
that's
lesson
rare.
last week where the dog was, like, trying, and, like,
Yeah.
the owner had almost it was super food driven lab, and the dog was just not thinking, and I'm like, "Nope, I'm gonna make him actually listen to me and discriminate in this moment." But
Right,
it's that happens way less frequently than I put the dog
right,
in the sit, and they're like, I know I'm gonna stay here, so I'm just gonna down." Like,
right,
"Alright, cool."
right, right.
Okay.
It's like seeing underneath the physical,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, trying to understand intentions and, like, as they relate
Yep.
to the goal and, like, where
Yes. Yes.
where's a good point to make a stand with a dog about
Yes.
something?
Yes.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
is the dog
No
being
one
compliant? Yeah?
right,
Okay.
then who cares? Like, who
Yep.
fucking cares? You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Um, no, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Any other, closing thoughts?
Oh, I mean, I could go for another
I know.
I'm not even joking, like, 6 hours. I have so much that's happened recently
Yeah.
with dogs, with dog training.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. Love that.
Um, contrary to what some of the, unique individuals have to say, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, you must have keep it to the dogs." I'm like, "Dude, all I do is train dogs." Like, the people that say
Yeah.
that don't train dogs.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm out
Yeah.
with dogs fucking constantly. Anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
is there anything else I wanted to and I wanted to go over my private lesson I had this morning because
Yeah.
we
Oh,
were
you can
teaching
talk
the
go for it.
dog to recall off of a thrown ball,
Yeah.
and the owner who was worried about us getting on the dog about messing up because she was afraid it was going to damage her prey drive,
Mhm.
because of
Mhm.
that fear, started to act weird and made the dog act weird, which became a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then she
Interesting.
was like, "Oh my god," and then I picked up the ball and threw it, and the dog bolted for it. It was fucking hilarious. I have the whole thing on camera too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that was funny,
What's the
but the
context
call
on that lesson?
what's up?
What's the context on that lesson? Like, what was the dog's
Very
like, most owners,
rare.
like, would not be afraid of damaging their dog's prey drive, so I'm just curious,
Right,
like
right. No, this
yeah.
this lady is very much like a hobbyist, like, she does, like,
Okay. Okay.
little she's like her do it's a show dog.
Okay.
She
Okay.
wants to do like little hunting things, and she wants
Right,
to
like
do all
barn
these.
hunts.
She
Yeah.
wants all the obedience to be like it super
Okay.
advanced, and
Okay.
it's a really really nice cracked flat
Yeah.
coated retriever.
Nice.
Cracked like it's rare. Like this is me fucking renting a sports car.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for me,
Yeah.
this is like spoiling myself.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, like I could do everything wrong and I could still get you to do anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but but and we can make this very brief. Um, but the owner knows that in the moment, and she tried to explain this was our third lesson today. The
Mhm.
second lesson, she tried to explain this to me. She's like,
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes down to it, and we're at the critical moment,
Mm.
she's not going to listen to me.
Yep.
And this is like the moment, not like we're on the field with a frisbee. Like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yep.
because
She
she
knows you
gets
don't
kind
have
of
anything for her.
she can be kind of weird around other dogs sometimes. That's largely been
Okay.
diminished by things that the owner's done.
Okay.
But like when it comes down to it, and the dog sees a squirrel,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
this is it was just a really interesting conversation. I have the whole thing on camera, but
Yeah.
the gist of it is we try for a call off. The dog is shrugging off pretty high level e-collar, set it
Mhm.
up again, drilling it again.
Mhm.
Just understanding the emotional state and motivation. Like I'm not at all worried. I would have been petrified of this. Like 3 years ago, I would have been like,
Yeah.
no, like you
Yeah.
can't because
Yeah. Yeah.
she's never gonna want to play again. But
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
contingency,
Yep.
emotional state,
Yep.
like that
Yep.
type of thing.
Clarity. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
right. And a very, very smart dog. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was really interesting. The lady was like, I can't believe she's having such a hard time with this. I was like, why? She's like, well,
Yeah.
I can call her off of squirrels. And I was
Hmm.
like, sit down for a second.
Yeah.
You can call her off of chasing squirrels. She's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And I was like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I promise. I'm like, all right, hang on for a second. And I just like thought for a second. I was like, no, 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 no. This is what's happening. Ari is chasing the squirrel, realizing she can't catch it.
Yes.
The
Yes.
motivation starts to fall, and then your
Yes.
voice comes and she complies.
Yes.
So in
Yes.
your head, that may have been you calling Ari come the whole time. And she blew off the first three because she still believed she could have the squirrel.
Yep.
She complied to the fourth,
Yep.
not because you
Because
finally
that was the
won, it's
better
because
option
the
at the
squirrel
moment.
lost. Yes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
then she goes, you know what, Dylan? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because the only time I'm able to call her off of the squirrel is when the squirrel gets into the brush, and Ari doesn't
Yep.
like going in the brush. It's like, okay. So you're like, that's not a true competing motivator anymore.
Correct. Correct.
And the reason why this is so fucking funny, my favorite like dog training lol cow genre of videos is force free suck it balance bros. Check this out videos. They're like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
favorite because you can just look and find the lies and like the clear, just like lack. Like I had the whole controversy with that fucking idiot pretending there was a dog on the other side of the door, and I proved that there
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
And then he's moving the goalposts, and everyone's
Hmm.
spamming him with door and dog emojis. Fucking great. That's what I'm talking about with bullying, by the way. By the way, when I say bullying, I am very
Yeah.
pro bullying. I am not saying show up to people's houses. I'm saying like
Yes. Yes.
laugh at them
Yes.
until they get off of the internet. Like
Yes.
viciously make fun
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
But there was this lady having that realization reminded me of another like suck it e-collared bros where this trainer had, of course it's her personal dog. And
Mhm.
it's a collie, I think, of course. But she's like, "Huh, you think that you can't call a dog off of prey, a prey chase without first if check this out." And she's at a beach and she's recording and there's seagulls. The
Mhm.
dog bolts, makes it all the way up to the seagulls. The seagulls take off and start flying away, and then biscuit, biscuit, and the dog turns around and comes back and gets food. And it's like you did something, dude. Like the dog went through the entire sequence in his head,
Yes.
and
Yes.
all you taught him is at the end of that fulfillment,
Yes.
I get to come back and get
Yes.
food.
Yep.
There
Yep.
was never any conflict. There was
Nope.
never even a second.
Nope.
Because up until that moment on the call, he thought he could get the bird. But if you're
Yep.
thinking purely about the physical, again, the aesthetics of
Yep.
it, oh, you called him off of a bird. But in his
Yep.
mind, he gave up
Yep.
on the bird and said, "Hey, I'm hungry. I'm
Yep.
going to go back to mom."
Yep.
That's
Yep. That's
so
exactly
that's
what
that's what
force
this
feed
lady was
sport
doing.
trainers set up all the time. All the time. It's
Oh,
just
really?
like, yeah, just like, and there's like, it's one of these things, right? Where like, I definitely will use it in a teaching phase to show the dog, like, hey, access is available when I say this word, but not that word.
Mhm.
Because like, there's times I want the dog to take a toy when there is actually like a decoy present, um,
Mhm.
or vice versa. Um, and it does start with like showing the dog, hey, when I say that's off limits, it actually is. And like, I
Right.
mean, honestly, it's a little bit the same thing of like discover that the car is not actually a prey item. Like, let them actually run up to it and realize that they're not going to get anything from it. Like, that is a valid strategy. But then eventually I'm going to punish what they do uh when I know that they understand what bite means versus toy from me, what those commands mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs are being idiots.
No, it's okay.
Once I know that the dog understands that, I absolutely will punish them for consciously deciding to blow
Yeah.
past my reinforcer to go get the decoy.
Mhm.
Like, you're in trouble for
Yeah.
that. But that's where you start to see when you get into a situation that doesn't follow those rules, that the dog is not actually compliant, and you like, it's the house of cards that falls apart. But yeah, it is funny because it's definitely one of those things where it's like it looks like training, but it's actually management because you
It's an
didn't actually
illusion.
finish it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an
Yes.
illusion. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
That
But then they can
looks like
say like
training.
the aesthetic, right? Like they can say, "Oh, I've done bite work force free," and it's like, but you haven't, because the whole point of bite work is competing motivators, and your
Right.
dog is not actually. You could not put your dog in front of a decoy agitating him and actually getting into his emotions, which they avoid
Yeah.
allowing the dog to get into their actual maximum drive state.
Mm.
You're agitating him and you go, "Take this food." You cannot guarantee that your dog, like, if you actually give him the choice, don't stop him with the leash, don't manage the environment, and he sees that the decoy is actually available, truly, he's going to make the decision to go to the decoy. But they just convince the dogs that, like, that's never gonna happen. But it's like, it's just not the same. It's not the same as going like, "No, I
Yeah.
told you you can't have that right now," you know? Um, anyway, that was a bit of
That's
a
interesting.
tangent, but,
No, that's but it's the same. It's like the
it's the
same
same thing.
concept, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
very interesting.
yeah, yeah.
I guess it's like I'm actively trying to get the dog into the most dedicated, unhinged,
Correct,
hysterical,
correct.
highest state of freedom and
Yep,
just like
yep,
dog,
yep,
and then
yep,
doing the recall.
yep.
I don't want to make it easier unless we
No.
have to during the learning process, which we
Well, right,
did
right,
have
right.
to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
We
yeah,
did
like,
we
there's
did have to
definitely
do.
steps to this.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And we had to
yeah,
do it. And the
yep,
lady was having a really hard time too. She ended up doing fantastic, but then it eventually
yeah,
turned into the dog's going to be in a down, I throw the ball, then
yep,
the ball's going to sit there, you release her and then call her
yep,
versus her going while the ball's still flying. And
yep,
that was
yep.
still very, very challenging for them.
Interesting. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it was interesting to see that the lady's fear of her dissuading the dog from wanting to
yes,
play was
yes,
making her play worse the way that she
yes,
used to, which was not
yes,
enticing to the dog. And then
yes.
as a result, because the dog knows we're in a training setup, she's already kind of like, I wonder what's going on. And now mom's
Mhm.
acting kind of weird. I'm just not going to
Yep,
chase right now.
there's a trick.
It was
Yep,
so
yep,
interesting, like, because
yep,
I know for a fact, like, again, around 2 years ago, my stomach would have dropped to the floor. I would have
yep,
been like, dude,
yep,
I just
yep,
the electric collar caused emotional fall. It's like,
yep,
no,
yep,
no.
yep,
It's
no,
just
it's not the problem.
it's just
Yeah,
a
it's the
clarity
same.
issue.
Yeah, it's like that kind of, that myth of, like, you can never correct a if you want a working puppy and you wanna do bite sports, you can never correct them for, like, biting at your pants or biting at you or
Oh,
biting at
right,
your
right,
skin,
right,
and
right,
it's
right.
like, "No, actually, you can." Like,
Right, right.
play with the dog over here on a tug
Yeah.
toy and then tell them, This is not the same, and they can comprehend it. But people are terrified
Mhm.
to correct their puppy for biting because they're like, all of the biting is exactly the same in the puppy's head. And
Right,
it's
right,
like,
right, right, right. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's not that simplistic.
Yeah, I'm trying to
But
think
yeah.
of how ridiculous that would be. I'm trying to think of an analogy that's like highlights how insane that is.
Well,
That
honestly,
all is the same.
yeah. I mean, it's the same as saying that like all dogs this is timely. I still haven't watched Ivan's video, but that all dogs bite or chase cars because they're fearful, right? It's like
Right. It's
chasing
like,
behavior can have many, many, many different
yeah,
motivations behind it. Or barking,
yeah.
like reactivity, right? Like all of the same.
That dude that was
Or
lying
that play
about the
biting is aggression. Like, honestly, that's probably my
right,
biggest pet peeve is people
right.
being afraid to allow their dogs to express themselves in play,
Yeah.
by, like, jumping up on them with a toy or
Yeah.
even, like, in the beginning of teaching play, being afraid of letting them, like, accidentally bite the leash or accidentally bite your cl like, you can funnel that down into a useful, like, very useful skill for the dog.
Yeah.
And it just because the dog bites your sweatshirt once does not mean they're trying to kill you. Like, it's
Yeah.
just
I've been um I've been trying really hard to come up with my like a way to explain myself on this thing, but like what you're talking about with the mouthing and the play biting and stuff. So
yeah,
like this flat coated retriever, I like one of the things I was hired for was to get her to stop jumping on guests, which is
yeah,
insane. For me, it's
yeah,
hilarious. This is like
yes.
blast from the past, like, oh my God, like this is
Yes.
fucking weird. Like I just did a house call to get a dog to stop jumping while coming through the door. Like it's just kind of funny. Um
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. Like I really
yeah,
love them. But
yeah,
but
yeah,
the dog because we are allowing her to indulge on the happiness and the
mhm,
joy of like meeting seeing people and things like that,
mhm,
she still vents somehow, right? So
yeah,
like she'll hop
yeah,
in place, it's really funny,
yes,
but she will
yes, yes,
also like loosely mouth your
sure,
forearm, right?
sure, yep,
And I have no problem whatsoever. If the owner said, Dylan, that's got to go, I have
yep,
no problem saying we're going to punish that behavior and we can go hard if
yep,
we really need to delete it.
yep,
However,
yep,
what I'd rather do right now
yep.
is just like see if she'll pick
Give
up a
her a toy.
toy
Yep, 100%.
and
Just put a
and
pacifier in your mouth, it's fine.
make sure she knows to without a shadow of a doubt,
Yes,
I am not trying to diminish your
yes,
feelings right now.
yes,
Right?
yep,
If you need to cope by just
yep,
holding this right now and still enjoying it, cool. And then on
yep,
the back end, say that you spit the toy out or I don't offer you a toy
yep,
and I go, dude, you know that Dylan's not trying to keep me from enjoying this,
yes,
right?
yes.
That must have just purely been the physical thing that I did. Like and I don't know how to put it
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, it's
And
isolating variables in a way that makes sense to that. Like, I think this is where people do their people get fallout from punishment because, like, back to the chasing the ball example, they throw the ball and then fucking smash the dog for chasing the ball,
right,
and it's like, wait a second, like
right,
you
right,
didn't make any clarity, any contingencies.
right, right, right,
And it's that type of thing where, like, if punishment is the first thing you do and, like, I try to be careful about my language here, right? Because it's like, it's not even punishment in my mind at that point, it's just aversive. Like, if that's the first thing you do without having any relationship with the dog, any context built with the dog, any like, if you walked in as a trainer and the dog jumped on you and you went kapow,
right.
the dog is gonna be like, "Wow, Dylan sucks." Like,
Okay.
that's the impression that they're gonna take away versus going like, I'm gonna have the owner do it, or I'm gonna have
Right.
like, even, like, those little things where it's like, you giving a correction is very different from the owner giving a correction, like, any of that
Right.
stuff. I lost my train of thought a little bit, but, because you started to say something
No,
that I was like, "Oh, I wanna try to say something
that
about."
I think that I'm gonna phone a friend. I'm gonna call my buddy Dr. Melanie.
Yeah.
Um, no, she would never. She's by the way, she's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the type of person that like I need to stay away from Dylan. Totally get it. Totally get it. Um, but like I'm sure she would have like at least point me in the direction of what's going on neurologically, but this is the way that I think of it. As soon as you start to get on a dog, quote unquote, however that's going to manifest, whatever, particularly like you said, in a situation where maybe you don't have the trust, I believe that in some way the brain becomes rigid. And I actually think it becomes harder. And then I'm thinking specifically in the case of socializing aggression cases, it becomes harder for the dog and less likely for the dog to really open themselves up and start to like be cool with people if the first thing that happened when they met someone was crack. Oh, I've been talking to a still image. Oh, fuck. Wait, is she back? I'm not going to click off of this because if I do, it might shut mine off. All right, so I'm running the show, unplugging and plugging the router back in. I'm going to run the show by myself. What topic should I cover? Should I read some comments right now? If there's anything fucking ridiculous for me to read, let's see. Um, do I have any good comments? I don't want to read any positive ones. I want to find some stupid shit. There's people dunking on a wolf mother canine. You love to see it. She should be harassed off the internet. Come on, let me find something good before Kim gets back. Gay means happy. People can interpret it however they want. That's based. I like that. I like your videos, but can you say something instead of gay? LOL. I'll bring that one to a vote, I guess. My daughter is gay and I say gay all the time. Okay. That's another pass. Belts. I want to find some funny shit. Like if I opened Instagram, I could find a bunch of shit, but I'd have to close this on my phone. Come on, where's some controversy? All right, this one has a bunch of comments.
Okay.
Oh fuck, she's back. Damn it. I just found a thread. I was like, while you're gone, I'm gonna read funny comments. And I just found the thread I wanted to read. All right. Yeah.
Dude, wait. We have to get back on before I forget exactly where you were, because my internet just fucking cut out. My stupid router every once in a while will just glitch.
No, that's okay.
Melanie Udo would point you in the direction of
like a neurological reasoning, like some sort of like actual brain function as to why, like if you, it has to do a lot with me with like my aggression approach. And like allowing the dog to complete their behavior and do it freely and just like see the other side. People think of it purely from an operant conditioning standpoint.
It's not.
Of course, where they think of it purely like this is kind of like negative punishment because the dog's not getting what he wants and like the reinforcers being cut. Like I'm sure like that does happen at some
bearing on it.
It happens at some level for sure. And I do think that's powerful, but I think that it's more so I'm avoiding what I would consider to be an effect that takes place where once you've done that, you've sort of like sealed the lid back on the can. I believe in however way you do it, like getting on the dog, quote unquote. I believe that something happens in the moment with the dog's brain where it becomes rigid and it becomes harder for them to begin to be like, oh, cool. Like they stop exploring as much. And this particularly, this has to do with what you said about like in this scenario, you don't have the trust. And then, could you interpret this as, oh, Dylan's knocking punishment? I mean, I fucking hope not. because as far as I can tell, I'm the only one showing physical punishment
But again, like
for
this is the
aggression.
other side. Like this is where we need to actually have dog training conversations and not just be afraid of condemning people that are using aversives badly as well, right? Like that
Oh
unfortunately is
yeah,
the imbalance right now
right,
where it feels like, oh no, I'm going to be knocking punishment. But it's like,
right,
no, 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 you're knocking inappropriate use of aversives.
right, right. So
And
this is
that's
that's
also a
safe.
problem.
You should be able to do that.
Yes. Yes.
So like my and I'm also, but I'm not against a punishment first strategy. But the thing
It
is that
needs to be
I
done
think
correctly.
right, and I think it's suboptimal most of the time. Like
Yeah, agree.
I typically
It
when
happens when there's considerations externally of risk,
right,
current capability, et cetera, where it's like, we just
right,
have to get rid of this right now, or
right,
there's going to be catastrophic
right.
uh
Or it's the rare
consequences.
case. There's the it's so it could be a safety thing, it can be a timing thing. I can't take the dog in a board and train. We need to
Yep.
stop this right now so that you can actually
Yep.
start handling your dog. Or it's the rare case where the dog actually cannot
Yes.
be outside,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
actually can't be outside.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you would be limited to
Or I
training in
actually
the
was just
kitchen.
thinking of the rare case also where the dog actually is just a wildly confident dog that has just never been
Right.
told no, and you need to be
Has to
like,
be
"Bro,"
told to
like,
grow up.
already
Like
immediately was like, "I have
right,
trust, I have," just, like, looks at the
right,
world as, like,
right.
extremely confident. Like, I've definitely had dogs like that where I'm like, okay, you have
And
everybody's number. You're playing
in
the
those
game."
cases, I often have the client announce it so they can leverage their
100%.
thing.
100%.
But if I've got a human aggression case and he goes off on someone that's wearing bike gear, and then in the aftermath of that, again, of course, like it's not being reinforced the way he
Yep.
probably thinks it is.
Yep.
But the power of the prediction error,
Yes.
I believe, is lost or largely diminished if I just smoke him right there.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Yep.
now it becomes about positive punishment
Yep.
and not about the dog being in
Well,
totally uncharted territory.
and now it becomes the dog still being in a negative emotional state and us
Right.
trying to leverage a negative emotional state to change a negative, like, it just
Yes,
doesn't,
yes,
like, that
yes.
is what you mean by prediction error, but like that is what the dog expected the outcome to be, is for him to feel bad. So
I don't
it's
know if
like, okay,
I don't know if I talked about this on a live stream. If I did, it's lost to time because the Facebook ones I
yeah,
think automatically delete.
yeah,
But I find, and this will be like the last thing, because then I actually do have to go.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I could go like I could legit go all day right now.
yeah, for sure.
Um, the way that I have sort of crafted my aggression rehab strategy is by trying to make the dog look at the aggression as a complete outlier freak behavior.
Yep,
Like a
yep,
freak show behavior. Like that's
yep,
insane that you did that.
yeah.
Right. Like and without me like having to get on him necessarily. Like
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't make
I
sense for the dog to use that strategy anymore in and of himself.
it just does not, again, like sure, back to the operant conditioning thing. It doesn't get you the reinforcement that you're looking for, whatever, in some case. And
Right,
maybe there is some
right,
sort of negative punishment, whatever, but more
right.
so on the social level and
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah,
contextual level, the
yep.
dog just being like, I'm sitting at a poker table with my friends and I'm pulling a knife out and holding it to somebody. Like
Yeah,
that's like,
yeah,
whoa, dude,
yeah,
like
it's
what
completely
the fuck is
non-congruent.
wrong with
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
what? Like that's insane, right?
yeah.
Um, someone's gonna take that and go, so you would let someone pull a knife on you and fucking no, dude, because we're not talking about humans, all right? We're talking about dogs.
Yeah,
So so I let that go. I allow the dog's brain to to remain open to other possibilities.
mhm,
And once we have set a stage where the dog has a different expectation of how this is going,
mhm,
then if he goes off, it's usually
yep,
drastically diminished.
yes.
So for any of you geniuses that could be watching that were saying I was allowing Ollie's biting to be
Yeah,
reinforced by letting him bite the suit,
yeah,
how come the aggression decreased 95% without punishment?
yep, yep,
Without punishment and
yep,
without any obedience being done around the
mhm,
trigger.
Hmm.
It happened 95% on his own in his head by me
Yep.
just not doing anything.
Changing the perception. Yep.
It's not reinforcement if it goes down.
Hmm.
Fucking
Hmm.
deal with it, dude. Deal with it. Like, holy shit, you're retarded as fuck. Like, actual retards. So then when I do punish the dog, and I can go hard, like I can go
Hmm.
fucking ballistic. Like I went
Hmm.
fucking nuts on Ollie the second
Yep.
time he nipped somebody. I
Yep.
went crazy. Like I would lose followers, like if they saw it. Like
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
fucking nuts. Not literally, but like I went
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And in his head, it's not just about, wow, Dylan, I didn't know Dylan could be like that. He's really pissed off. All of those things matter.
Yep.
But also,
Yep.
he kind of has to look around and be like, what was I doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're hanging out in
Yeah.
someone's yard on like a
Yeah.
nice day,
Yeah.
and that was just wrong. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Yep.
make sense.
Yep.
Of course, it doesn't work anymore. Of course. But it
Right.
also
Right.
just on another dimension just
Right.
is fucking
Right.
bizarre.
Right.
I guess
Right.
that's I try to set it up so that the dog feels weird for doing it when
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
punish
Like
him,
it
you know?
doesn't fit. Like from the dog's perspective as a social creature, it almost yeah, it's like deeper than just the punishment itself. It's also like him realizing, well, and it's funny, right? Like we do this a little bit, and I don't think I talk about it a ton, but it's something I do think about in like when we're training the sport dogs in a group. If the dog does something well, it does make a difference if everybody who's standing out on the field is praising the dog, or vice versa, if the dog is doing something
Oh,
stupid.
cool.
Like there is
Sick.
definitely
Sick. That's
like
really
that
cool.
pack kind of mentality of like, oh no,
That's
like
awesome.
there are like social norm, like obviously they're not thinking about it to that degree, but like
Mhm.
social norms and what is appropriate and inappropriate behavior, and like they definitely feed off of, like I definitely see it with my dog Dice. Like he absolutely cares what other people on the field are doing
Yeah.
if they're involved in the training. Like he, of course, can be
Right.
neutral, just bystanders, whatever. But like if I'm looking and talking at somebody and being like, hey, I need advice here, like he becomes like, hey, you are included now in this activity and you become
So
part of what I have to consider or
so
can consider as
explaining
feedback.
what you're explaining to me is a tone almost. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yep.
I think of it like a tone as well.
Yep.
So if I it allows you without any blowback
Yep.
to be able to go really, really serious.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's I think that like it can kind of shock people how abrupt and how hard
Yes.
I can go in a punishment.
Yes.
And that's a dog
Yes.
bouncing around 5-10 seconds later.
Yep.
But it's
Yep.
because I've set up and
Yep.
I've allowed this more so I've allowed the dog to discover that this
Yes.
thing that we're doing is actually like really nice.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
you were saying
And
earlier
he
where
doesn't
you're
want to rock the boat on that.
right. Where
Yeah.
you were saying earlier, like if you just lead by smoking the dog, it's like you are kind of just I
Yeah.
was gonna make a Patreon video about this, but I'm not going to anymore because I have found that I can't explain it. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like in the emotional state, I want the difference, like the general situation, if the general situation is really bad and like the
Yes.
emotions are bad and the dog's attacking, and
Yeah.
then I use punishment,
Yeah.
I can get him like here, right?
Yeah.
The difference between the feeling of the punishment and the feeling of the event
Very
is
minimal.
not that bad. They can both be really bad together, but there's not really a big difference here.
Yep.
However, if I can get
Yep.
if I can get even neutrality
Yes.
or maybe even good
Yes.
where the dog is like being around people maybe on a neutral level, I don't need to do anything about this, and maybe at a positive level this can be really cool. Now, if I punish,
Yep.
it's still
Huge
down
gap.
here, but there's
Yep.
this huge gap that causes
Yep.
this like whiplash, like
Yeah.
awakening and realization.
That's actually so like that's really interesting from like a neurological perspective, right? Because there are a lot of things in our brain that are not at all about the absolute value of a thing, but in reference to a thing, like background to
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I do wonder, like, yeah, and it's funny thing about that too. I can go super light in punishment with the sport dogs because they're having such a good time. And it is a huge bummer to be like, dude, you fucked up. Like, stop it. And then they're like, oh my
100%.
God, I'm so sorry. And
Right.
that's all I have to do. And like a little timeout.
Well,
And then they're like, all
okay.
right, got it. We're playing the game.
So they're having fun. They're like
Yep.
doing the thing that they feel like they're born to do.
Yep.
And like your punishment can be like, say
Yes.
this is
And I can
baseline
still,
neutral.
yes.
It could be
Yeah.
like here
-1
and
instead
get a
of -100.
huge effect.
Yes.
And I do the same thing too in some degrees. And sometimes I will go very hard. But like even
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my very hard, you would
Is
probably be
actually
like, oh,
different.
that's a Dylan very hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it posted the first time I punished Ollie for nipping.
Mhm.
And it was a really, I guess, stiff pop on his martingale.
Yeah. Yeah.
And be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was it.
So
And it was
light.
like just over with.
Yeah.
Because he knew that this place and this thing that we do and these people, like this is just again, it's like we're here
Yep.
and I can
Yep.
go to here instead
Yep.
of starting here and needing to go to here to try to make up the difference, which
Yes.
is just
Yes.
like
Yeah.
I would have to fucking hang him off of a tree or something.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I just
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
just
You have
not
to do
going to be
something
good.
at that point that is inhumane and
Brutal.
unethical.
Right. Like
Yeah.
it's and it's
Yeah.
not going to
Leaves you.
create the emotions that you want.
No.
Right.
No.
So
Yeah.
there is. I'm just telling anybody. All right. I mean, if you're listening to this, if there's like 10 people listening to this, we probably don't have to sell you on a lot. But like I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if you look at the dogs, I'm not walking around with a ball under my arm. Like they are just happy. I
Having a good time.
promise you, they are
Yep.
just happy.
Yep.
And even in scenarios previously that used to be really bad, or at least they tolerate to a level where they're like, it's okay. I'm at peace. Like
Yep.
they're at peace. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Is the way I
Yeah.
should put it. And
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
something going on in here that I cannot explain well
Mhm.
that I have on tape a bunch of times that
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something to it. I just don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it beyond that. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, that concept, I actually have not thought about that before. That
The
the
disparity, and I haven't come up
yes.
with a name with it for it. Like what
Yeah.
would I call it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, so like one of the things that I appreciate about TWC is that Ivan actually does take a lot of true like lingo from human neurobiology and psychology. And I wonder if that is a thing that like we know what it's called in humans, but just like nobody in dog world knows about it. Like that'd actually be interesting to look into. Because
There
I know
has
exactly
to
what
be,
you're talking
right?
about.
There
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to be. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how if you live on the street and live a life of desperation and someone just like beats the dog shit out
Yeah.
of you, like
Yeah.
that feels bad, but like it kind of makes sense.
It's whatever.
Versus
Yeah.
versus you like you're going to a nice school and someone bumps
Mhm.
into you in the hallway and says, "Get the fuck out of my way, idiot." And
Yeah.
that could cause this
Jarring.
crazy emotional whiplash
Mhm.
because you were
Mhm.
having such a good day doing really good things. And
Yeah.
like the first guy got his fucking ribs kicked in and he's like,
Yep.
you know, life in the
Yep.
gutter. Whereas the
Yep.
other guy just got like lightly made fun of or something. And it was
Yep.
like he can't stop thinking about it. There's
Yep.
something in
Yep.
there that's going on.
Yeah. 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 I think violation of expectations is a like I think that about that a lot in creating either avoiding scenarios that I want to avoid or creating scenarios that I want to create. Like even frustration comes from violation of expectations in the dog, like being able to obtain like a prey item or a goal. And that can be a super useful strategy, but it can also fuck a lot of dogs up when they think that they were about to get the reward and then they don't. And now
Mhm.
there's like some spiraling that can happen. But anyway, yeah, we'll have to do some research and revisit that on our next podcast.
You know, you already know I'm not going to.
I know. I will.
You
though.
already know I'm going to be busy training dogs and respecting women. You let me
Yes.
know what you find.
Sounds good.
But I do think that there's something going on there, and it is crucial
For
to my
sure.
approach.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like it is like my approach. Like it is the
Yeah.
thing that I am thinking about at all times is like setting the emotional tone to make the aggression and antisocial behaviors and feelings outliers.
Yep.
And being there as sort of like the lighthouse in the darkness to the dog, so that in those moments of confusion where he's trying something else, I can tell him, no, you're okay. Like it is okay. And then on the back end, when that's been established, becoming like a severe authority figure if I need to and be like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's yeah. That's just
Interesting.
yeah. I could go all day. I do need to cut myself off.
Yeah. No, for sure. Same. Well, sweet. Thanks for listening to the two people that are
Maybe at
left
the
against.
beginning of this
Yes.
one or somewhere on here, put a like, hey, dog discussion starts 45 minutes in or something like that. So
Yeah,
that if
for
people
real,
want to
for real.
skip, if people
No,
want to
and,
skip
like,
the
just
autism, they can.
Just to tie a bow on like talking about online internet behavior is I used to be of the mindset of like, whatever, it doesn't matter, but like it does. And I think we need to start having conversations about like what is actually inappropriate behavior versus what is a little bit of like, hey guys, we need to kind of stop just rolling over and taking the abuse from the other side.
The
And just from
day
like
that
people in
my
general.
behavior has no place to exist is the day that I'll just post cute little dog videos,
Yep.
maybe a little
Yep.
training, and I just won't talk to anybody. And
Yep.
that would be amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep. Yeah. Like the online discourse has to be goal oriented and not just yelling into a void or just taking the abuse. Like
Goal and
there has
evidence.
to be substance.
Goal,
Yeah.
Goal and evidence with people that have the spines to stand up.
Yeah.
And like that sounded so fucking cringy, but like actually just say
No, but it's true. I think
no.
it's almost it almost does get it. Like this is again a whole nother fucking podcast topic, but like it is like how willing are you to allow people that actually have no real effect on your life, don't care for you at all, would actually probably be happy if you died tomorrow. Are you going to let them affect your behavior in real life and your livelihood and your
Right.
like that feels shitty to allow that to happen. And it's like,
yeah,
what is that worth to you? You know?
You can believe your eyes.
Yeah.
Like you can. Believe people when they tell you who they are, and you can believe your eyes. Do not let bad people convince you your dogs aren't happy. All right. Just telling you. If they are telling me that my dogs are shut down, I have done my job in exposing the concept is just gone. The concept is just it should exist and it just doesn't anymore. It means fucking nothing anymore. And you need to just act accordingly. Just stand up for yourselves. That's my last.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And it's fair to do that. So all right, sweet. Thanks guys. Talk later.
Not truly aggressive. Let's go.